top of the pecking order, there's about 68 teams in this overall Swiss bracket. So there's a lot of teams here. There's not a lot of room for error. So right now, both these two squads need to pick up this win and keep themselves towards the top echelon. As these games go on, there's going to be less and less teams in that undefeated category. And you want to be up there towards the top once playoffs come around. Seeding's going to play a big factor too. One thing is, though, one of these two teams has not played a full best of three yet. Their wins and losses were both decided by two maps, and that would be University of Wisconsin-Madison. Their 2-0 loss over to Ashland, 16-9 and 16-10 on Overpass and Nuke. But for Madison, they play a lot of Overpass. They love the map, it seems. But we're not going to have any Overpass coming through here.
No, actually, so it's really interesting. I'm actually just reading the videos now, so it looks like our first pick it's just coming in, so it's going to be Inferno, looking like, which is picked by Madison, then Inferno is the first map by Madison, Vertigo is going to be picked up by RU, and then if we get all the way to the end to a map 3, it will be Mirage. So this is a pretty standard map pick, I think. The only thing that caught me a little bit off guard is that Vertigo's on the table, so I mean, to me, that's a little unexpected, but I mean, just considering that both these teams do strive both on Inferno and Mirage, so this will be that'll be a big test. But I mean, if Madison can pick up their map pick, that's going to be really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Rutgers has not won Mirage this season. Wait, no, they won it once, way back down on the. Wait, that's last season actually. So they have not won on Mirage this season.
Yeah.
So that's a big question mark in my mind. They have not played Vertigo this season, which is also a bit of a question mark, as it is their pick. They played Inferno a couple of times. They won it both times, which is solid. Actually, 3 times to be exact. But that's not terrible. The thing is, though, Vertigo and Mirage, big question marks for Rutgers. Mirage, or rather Vertigo, a big question for UW-Madison as well. But, again, it is Vertigo. It's Rush A Simulator. It's a retake simulator. But that's on to map number 2. Map number 1 is Inferno, picked by UW-Madison. Here we go to kick things off here in Week 5.
Week 5 we go. So now one of these teams will strive to be a 4-1. The other one will be hitting down the lower ranks of 3 and 2. And Madison already looked like they want to put a full investment into the mid, and now it actually looks like it's going to be the apartments pop. So the smoke's going to come in. That's going to allow them to flush out. So the one more flash should come in, allowing them to come on through. No, they're not even. They're just going to dry this. They're going to run right through. And look at this. Oh no! But SHM is able to take down Polar Wave. So that's big. And now they've just bombarded this site. And it's a little bit of retaliation here from Varsity, but really, it's nothing much.
Yeah, 4v2 hold here for UW. And it's going to look like a strong round in their favor. Rutgers got overwhelmed on the pop. The dry swing of the flash is coming through, and just a swarm by the T side. Eddie's going to tap away, pick up one more. Brown will trade it back in the end. But I don't think there's much Brock can do in the situation. Getting chased away by Zamga. And Zamga will finish this one off. 2 kills in the round. And UW-Madison going to win the pistol. Strong fashion. They got that bomb plant, so already they had some good success. But even then, keeping 3 alive, they will not do invest as much as they would have otherwise. Zamga goes for the MAC-10. 3 on the MAC-10, actually. No AKs for UW-Madison, interestingly enough. But they'll have a couple of Galils, and more importantly, a multitude of utility.
Yeah, I actually am a big fan of this MAC-10 play because this is going to allow them to get the stats up, even get the money situation up too. So they're not putting a lot of risk into this because this second round, if they lose this, man, their money's going to crumble. So for them, go to the MAC-10s and look at this. They're just committing to another rush again. And it is just one other player that's in this site for RU right now. And it's a lonely USP. Hiding behind the sandbags, waiting for the team to rotate. So this is a good discipline play, but look at Eddie on the full hunt, able to find Bra, now looking for a little bit more, but man, they got full control of this now, Boggs.
Oh yeah, it's another fast play by the Badgers, and they're going to get all the control of B side they need. Rutgers walled out of this one. They didn't even invest anything since that P250, and that's already gone down as well. It's going to be a mow-down session here for UW-Madison, and we're going to get a nice clean 2-0 start here. Maybe losing 1 or 2 players in the process now as there's some tags coming through. Pickell will get taken out, and Wavy will eliminate Porter Waves, but in the end, 2-0, flawless anti-eco. This is where the test comes through. The bonus round for UW-Madison, and Rutgers is going to have the full M4 buy, but there's a problem. Only 1 Molotov in the hands of Rutgers, as well as only 1 or 2 flashbangs. They'll toss it over to Barley T. But still, it's not a lot of utility on the CT side of Inferno. It's a very big gamble for Rutgers. Nobody taking that hit to really have more utility. They're all going for firepower.
Yeah, and even there's only one defuse kit on one of these players too. So again, they need to make sure that that defuse kit's floating around. So if they lose it, it's going to make it even more problematic for the defuse. But look at this Madison again. They're just flooding into this site. They're doing what they did in the first round. But look at this. It's going to be Barley able to only find one. They get the control of this site. Now the CT's still close on by. It is Waves. He's holding an aggressive angle. But again, he only gets the one and done. So Madison, they've been able to make the landmark in the site for the time being. But the CTs, they're coming in hot and heavy.
They are indeed, and Wavy, who has the one Galil left alive for UW-Madison, is low on health. That's a problem. The peek, though, comes in from Zamga. Good flash from Eddie, and that's going to make things a little bit better for the Badgers. Pickle will trade one back, though that's Zamga gone, and Eddie's got a very hard fight from Pit onto the player's lane with the M4s. One last flash being expended, and he'll close that gap a little more, jumping into mini Pit. Wavy has to stand tall, does some damage. Counter swing needs to come in. They've not cleared out Eddie just yet, but the bomb can get defused here. Eddie's got to make the noise. He's got to push. He's spamming. He's got off the bomb. He's not got the second guy. Does he know he's on it? He's tapping. He's spraying. He's hoping. He's praying, and he will not be answered. Eddie will get the kill in the end, but Bruh will hold the line, and the round will go the way of Rutgers. It was a bloody one for Rutgers University, but they are able to come out with the victory in the end. Problem is, that was a bonus for UW-Madison. They've got the guns, and Rutgers are on a weird bit of a half-buy.
Oh man, it was right there, right on the tip. They could feel it, right? I mean, you could just, right in the hand, and he almost had it, but he ran out of ammo, and then he got the panic. He wasn't able to find it through the smoke. And I mean, that's just Rutgers picking up a round just barely. And like you said, that was the bonus for Madison. And the fact that they put full aggression with those MAC-10s, that's a really good call from the IGL. They were almost able to pan on through, but now they got AKs on the board. This is where they can really test things out. Oh, and Waves actually peeks at the wrong moment, gives his back to him. And now there's even more apartment control that's going to be happening through. And Zamga trying to find this kill onto the archway, but it's going to be FC actually to start things off with a good scout. So a little bit of an even footing, and now SHM spots the feed and able to find this one too. So they got themselves a player advantage.
Yeah, they have the man advantage, and they have the health advantage, the firepower advantage, everything they need. Only a little bit of damage taken by SHM. It's a save call instantly by Rutgers. They do not have anything to throw at this round. And, well, what another fast play from UW-Madison. The Badgers do not slow down, guys. They just go, pedal to the metal balls of the wall. There's no breaks on this team. They hit something within the first 20, 25 seconds, and they just flood.
No, and I mean, that's kind of a cool little stance that we're seeing from them, right? I mean, they really are just kind of putting their foot on the gas, and they're just taking it away. And I don't disagree with this, especially early on. They're trying to set a good pace for this game. And right now, I mean, we're seeing Rutgers, they're not really able to reply to this, so they need to kind of figure out a new setup to kind of get ready for this aggression. And I think once we start to see that, back and forth, or maybe, Rutgers is able to get it, then we'll see something different from Madison. But I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it right now.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, once Rutgers get a lot of utility in hand, I think Madison will probably slow the play down a little bit more. But we haven't really seen Rutgers with much utility at all, and that's the answer of how to stall out Madison here. For the SHM, though, with that opening pick, he got the second one out towards balcony as well. But again, Rutgers need utility. They need to be able to stall out this early aggression from the Badgers. And without that, UW-Madison's just going to run rampant on these sites. They're going to be able to go wherever they want to go, be able to get that bomb down early, and just take the pace advantage and completely overwhelm Rutgers. And now we're going to see the banana flood this time. They've put a lot of pressure towards A. Actually, UW-Madison slowing it down this round, and they're going to get punished for it. Pickle's going to hold the line and get both with an MP9. Doesn't even need the support of Bruh. And that's a bit of a Bruh moment for UW-Madison, just dry peeking up half wall.
Oh man, that is a Bruh moment. I mean, I don't know how Pickle got away with that, but I mean, Madison kind of played that really slow. I mean, it was just one engagement, and then the other person just slowly, like a slug, just creeps on through, tries to, maybe get the trade. It wasn't even really a trade opportunity. But, I mean, right now, this is Rutgers. They're feeling good. They got the player advantage. They don't have the weapons, so they're not able to pick these guns up. So it's a little bit of an issue, but them having the numbers is definitely going to pan out well for them, especially now that they can play hard defense. They can just turtle these sites. They don't need to play aggressive anymore. Pickle's done a really good job. And Madison, they do have the utility, so they got the double smokes. They got one molly that they can use for the new box, so they should be able to get on through this site. And the one player, it's going to be Bruh in the back of new box, and he does have the Famous, so this is going to be important. His teammates are going to this first point of contact. They don't even smoke. They just commit to this try, and bruh, he's able to get one and done, and that's it. And now Madison, they're getting the bomb down.
Look at the health on SHM. 2 HP, 76 for Eddie. 2 the USPs, the P250. They can't find the kills. And there goes the high HP player. Barley T running up Banana. Has poor waves with him too. SHM runs in, shoulder shows. And Rutgers are going to pick up the round. It's Pickle as the main hero. Bro with that second kill plus the damage from U-Box. And that completely stymies UW Madison. It's Dry Peaks making them pay right now. And that's a round they should not lose, UW Madison. They give that one to Rutgers on a silver platter, and that just goes to show the importance of using the utility you have.
Oh man, Madison. And you know, SHM, he's in such a tough spot too, because you got the low HP and you're stuck in Banana, so you kind of have to go for those engagements when you're down in numbers, but man, that's just a bad timing. Wrong place, wrong time. But now Rutgers are starting to get things back into a little bit of motion here. It's back to a 2-3, and now they're going to have a triple stack onto Banana. The nades are going to come on through Madison. Not going to get connected by them, but at least there'll be control here for the CT side. Madison slowing things down. We talked about that aggression that they put on earlier this game, and now they're starting to realize they're going to have to be a little bit more methodical in their play. But they do have the apartments control. Boiler's been obtained. And you can see, Rutgers, they're allowing that map control, but they do have Banana, so now they got lots of good information in your box.
Yeah, I do like how they're not overstaying their welcome, though. They push down, clear out mail and logs, and then fall all the way back. They've got Madison where they want them. They're stuck down in middle or alt mid. It's a very solid play here from Rutgers, although they're rotating the extra player over towards A. Banana now the target from UW Madison. They're making all the noise stomping up. Bruh can hear the noise from Speedway, though. Smoke's going to come in from Madison. Flashes are prepped as well. And we'll hope somebody smokes off CT. SHM, I think, is just going to go for lurk plays, hold the rotations, or even try and get a pick out towards A, throw confusion to the CT side. But as it stands, it's going to be a brawl for the B side. Pickle has to fall back towards Pillar. Molotov goes in new box. Pickle in that smoke, ready for it. And it is that B take coming through. Pickle has to be the hero again. Run into, not quite yet, actually spam through the smoke. SHM gets tagged down by the A side player, rotating over to B. But it's still a 4v4, and there's a chance for a retake here from Rutgers.
Yeah, they're still close on buy, so there's a lot of opportunity here. Their utility's pretty dispersed up, so this is just going to be a firefight that they're going to have to go for. But both teams, they don't really have anything to brag about in terms of the inventory, so this is just going to be a 4-on-4 gunfight. It's going to be the show off. Down, and Zegman actually getting a spam. Look at that! That's going to be a nice, beautiful spray right through it, and we may be able to find another one. FC not in a great spot now. The only player left does a little bit of damage. It will not be done. Madison will be able to get themselves a fourth, and a good effort, good control that we saw from Madison in that round. Like you said, they got up to middle, they got the control, threw a little bit of a lurk fake, and then even then just went for the late Banana control, and that was a really good amount of work that we saw from teamwork on this squad.
Yeah, it's great team play and spacing, but again, it's light on the utility in a lot of those early engagements for Madison, and they will get punished for that. They've already lost a round they shouldn't have to Rutgers, and it's not going to be the best devise for the aforementioned CT side, but we've seen them come up with some magic like this already. I'm surprised Barley doesn't opt for a kit, though. That could be a bit of a problem here for Rutgers, has the cash for it. But as it stands, Madison now flashing over half wall, perhaps learning from Pickle's mowdown a couple of rounds ago. Molotov into corner, forcing Bruh back, but Pickle still holding, spotted out Sandbags. Will get traded out as Poor Waves actually opens things up towards the opposite side of the map, and the A brawl's coming through. It's a split, 2 towards A, 3, or rather 3 towards A, 2 towards B. And this bracket engagement's going to be messy. It's not going to be pretty. And it's a mowdown from Barley coming in from behind. Great read there from Rutgers. Leaving just Whisk and Wavy to pull this one back. They clear up Top's first oranges, and that's going to be the opening kill. Still a 2v3 disadvantage for UW Madison. And a little bit of damage exchange from the CT player spamming through the smoke.
I mean, so the player advantage is here for Rutgers, so they're feeling pretty good about this. So they're actually going to go for the engagement, and Wave's actually able to get the trade, but no. Now it's down to the 1v1. It's Jumps by himself. He's put the palm flash, and now Barley knows exactly where he is. The smoke's coming in. Oh no, not again. Not what we saw before. Doesn't have a kit though, like you said. Taps it, spams away, and gets the kill too! Beautiful spray control. And there should be enough time here for Rutgers to pick up themselves a third round. The defuse kits don't even matter.
Yeah, Barley with the 3K, the 2K up on brackets, then clutching out the 1v1 in the end. Rutgers seem to like it when they're on the weaker weapons. I mean, UW-Madison too, they give themselves a bit of an opportunity, but they stall out in brackets too much. They're not keeping an eye on the open angles. It does come back to bite them in the end. Rutgers take advantage, and Madison will be back on the bye here. Their utility's not going to be terrible either. But Rutgers has all the fixings now. Aside from waves, everybody else has all the utility they could wish for. Perhaps Madison will go back to their older, fast-paced play. Already at Archsmoke goes early, and he's going to lead that charge. Flashbang counters. Barley's still here as well, playing around the porch. Not cleared out, gets a lineup and grabs a pair. Looks for a third, traded out, but waves at another from Pitt. Headshots finally connecting from Eddie. 2v3 again with the health much lower on Eddie this time, and he's dropped. Zamgo 1v3 has the first and time to plant. The rotations are coming through, and there's a Molotov in the hands of Bra. That could make a big difference in how this round is played.
Good smoke placement too, so now blocks this off. A little bit of utility that he can burn late. Won't make any damage. Making his presence known now. He's burned everything. Use the molly, use the smoke and the HE, so now it's all just down to him to pop these shots. Nickel gonna throw the pop flash, looking to see if they can get into this. Zagma pulling the ground, gets the one, but not able to get the second. Bruh, he's gonna be able to get this, and we're back to a tie game.
Tie ball game. Rutgers coming out with a narrow victory again. But, again, the problem is they're losing a lot of players. They're going to be scraping together buys and the bomb plants, keeping Madison with some sort of economy, although this time they're going to have to go for a half. They can't really go for a full investment here. They bought armor, and they have Glocks. Now they're going to start to file through some upgraded pistols. A couple Tech 9s to follow suit, make it 3. P250 on Zamka. And now Eddie will join in the Tech 9 party. There's only a couple smokes and a flashbang. Pop play seems to be in order here from Madison. They're waiting out the utility used early on Banana. They've already used one of their smokes, though. Now with only 2 pieces of utility and a lot of time on the clock, they're going to have to really work their way through. That nade could do some damage. Let's see what it does. It goes way too short. Doesn't go where they wanted it to.
Yeah, it actually made the connection on the Pickle. So now the ball flash will come in. They're going to try to surprise this, but no. CTs are able to get out of this Pickle, though. He's in a bit of a pickled situation. He's able to get himself 2! And then he's able to finally get the trade back. The other pop flash comes in. But oh my god, Jumps is able to get the spam right through the smoke. So now they've secured this site. It's a bit of a short time being, and now Jumps has made his presence known. FC's been able to get this, so now it's a tight position for him to get out. But oh my god, he gets the running tap away with a Tech 9. He doesn't even need the M4. And now Eddie for another, making it another for the other teammate. And this is a win for Madison, making it a 5-4, a round that looked problematic. But hey, it's going to work.
Gotta love the Tech 9s. Tech 9 probably going to get a nerf here pretty quickly, but let's enjoy it while it lasts in its current state. It's the hero of the round. Great flashbang over the half wall, too. If that nade would have gone deeper, though, things might have turned out a little better for Rutgers. However, the nade does not go the right way. Doesn't do any damage onto anybody from the Badgers, and it's a nice little storm here from UW-Madison with that pop towards B. B stacked now from Rutgers, all 5 players over towards that site. And there's a little bit of pressure and probing going that way from the T side. And actually, it looks like they're going to commit towards B. They have their lurk player, SHM, over towards AAPS. But it's going to have to be Eddie and company to mow them down. He goes for a reload of 15 and almost pays for it. Zamka's there to keep him alive. And only 1 casualty for Madison on the 5 stack towards B from Rutgers. They still sit at 4 rounds. And they're not going to be able to fully invest into this next one. Nades are purchased. Nade stack mid or banana looks to be on the cards.
Yeah, it's pretty evident now that we're going to see the nade stack come through. It's a question of where they want to go. So it looks like they're going to invest the nade stack into middle, but I wonder if they actually want to commit the full push, or they just kind of want to throw them and run away. Oh, they're running and gunning. They're going to try this. I like it. Some good damage that's been connected, but actually some good counter from Madison, and now they're going to be able to advance the bomb towards B. Having the 2 players lurk, one in the back of T-Stairs, one in the back of Banana, so they have a good crossfire. Eddie, he might be gifted a big plate of food here. He's able only to find 2. The CTs are able to retrieve 2 guns now. That's an off, and also the AK they have, so they can decide to save these, and that's almost looking like they want to go for this. This makes the right sense. They don't want to lose this. They want to be able to put this forward into round number 12, and I like this play here, Boggs.
I like this a lot. Rutgers with a free op and an AK into the next round, that's going to be a big boost. And I don't think we've actually seen an op for Rutgers throughout this game so far, and they have the scout, but unless this hunt from Wavy can pay dividends, he's got SHM with him too. Rutgers are going to have a couple of guns, including the big green, to take him to the next one. Good exit frag there from Waves. Slides on back into T-spawn and should be able to survive here. Both guns are looking to be held over by Rutgers. That's not too shabby considering what they came into. 3 nades and I think a P250. That's a real good round coming in from Rutgers. They get some massive boosts to this CT side. And now UW-Madison have to go up against an op.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like, whenever we see these CT sides, we always kind of wonder if, the op is going to be the difference maker. And I think right now, for Rutgers, this is actually a good amount of work that they can see if this is going to be the secret ingredient. Because right now, they need to change something. Madison have pretty much been almost able to secure this half. Only needing one more to take the lead. FC gets the flick. He's able to find that connection, so that's a good start. And now they can just pull back. They don't have to keep their foot on that gas. They can actually, ease off a little bit and get more prepared. They still have that 3-2 stack. And even right now, Madison, they're going to go right back to the bread and butter, the quick pop flash over half wall. They have obtained that banana control, but they haven't committed to it yet. And you still have that lurk. Zamga is waiting things out.
I think it's going to be the A end. They're going to leave, jumps over towards the B side top car. Everyone's going to group up around that lurk. Eddie up in the halls, waiting to go. The nade could do some damage on the jumps. 5 damage if you really want to write home about that. But they've drawn the extra rotation back towards the B site. Utility's going to flood in towards A now, but with only 2 people here to deal with, this is a winnable situation for UW-Madison. They're falling back to B. They're going back to B. They're going to split 2 towards the arch side, try and wrap towards the B site. And Wavy's got 1, but they don't have anything out. They're blind as well. FC's going to pick off Eddie. And now Wavy has to swing through. Wavy will get the trade onto the Opper. 3v3, but the B takes on. There's still 2 players here to hold.
Yeah, 2 players are so close on by. They have a bit of a crossfire. Braw's actually able to find the 1 now, so that's good. Ball to the site, but no, it's going to be CTs all over the board. It's just painted with blue. And now jumps on a 1-on-2. 16 seconds remaining. And Bra, he's playing this perfectly. Now going to fall on back. Bait the time. And Jumps has to commit to this. Plant should be dead. And the plant will come through, but the kill will come in. Rutgers does respawn back in a pretty decently fashion. I mean, they don't lose too much. They are able to get, a little bit of utility. Double AKs they can preserve as well. I don't think they're able to get that up unless, yeah, he will be able to find it. I was going to say, I think it should be around library area, so they do obtain that. So, pretty good round that we see from Rutgers.
Yeah, it's a solid round from Rutgers. They're able to get that win, and it honestly looked like a very good situation for UW-Madison, but they weren't expecting the players on the B side, really, and they got punished for it. They got mowed down, and Rutgers made the best of a bad situation. They'll keep that op as well for FC. We'll see if he goes aggressive with it this round. Still, 8Ks on the board for UW-Madison. All 5 of their players holding on to the Kalashnikov. Full utility as well. Plenty of money on everybody but Wavy. But still, 7 rounds already on the T side of Inferno. No small margin. If they can win this half, it'll be even better for them. It was the map pick of UW-Madison, though, with Vertigo being picked by Rutgers. And still, plenty of time to change the tide here for Rutgers on their CT side. That op has to play a big part, I think, though.
6 giving you the molly to flush out lane. Counter molly comes in. Farley playing aggressive, but Eddie will find him. A good trade back and forth. Now the molly comes in from Waves and jumps. Gonna have to jump up pretty high. Oh my god, he's able to get the back. So now they got themselves in this site. FC's going to have to just pull on back, waiting to get things through. Misses the shot. It's a swing and a miss, and now Madison, they're looking like they picked up this round, unless we see a clutch attempt come in. But Rutgers really, they have some utility bogs. I mean, they can try to test this. I mean, they can't retrieve that off, so it looks like they do want to wave the little white flag, and I think that's what's going to happen, and it kind of makes sense at this point.
It does. I mean, they have to save these into the next round. A 4v2 hold on the A side is going to be almost impossible to dismantle anyways. So for Rutgers, there's really no possibility of making the retake happen. Might as well cut your losses and keep at least something into the next round to try again. But they're burning down the rest of this half here. Only 2 more rounds to go after that bomb explodes. Things are not going to get any easier for Rutgers here. They don't have a lot of cash. Their loss bonus not exactly flourishing. We'll see how they actually want to play around this. Maybe even pistol armor around the rifles. go into round 15 with something resembling a full buy. Almost want to see some apps aggression coming through here from Rutgers too. Something to try and counter UW Madison, because it seems playing passive just isn't working for Rutgers. They get overwhelmed.
Yeah, they definitely need to change up their game plan, because what they're doing is currently not working. They've been able to bring things back. I mean, yes, it's a 2-round deficit, so it's getting closer, but like you said, they do need to test different waters and try something a little bit different. This is kind of a round where it's difficult to do that, but it almost makes sense too, because they have the deagle, so they can be a little bit, you know, spontaneous with their plan. And I thought Zamgo was going to be dead. I thought he was dead to rights, to be honest, but he's able to get out of that. And now Madison do have the bracket control pretty much retained. They have the banana as well. Varsity again. Rutgers just staying true to the turtle setup. And now Eddie, look at this. He spots the shoulder, gets the one. He's looking for the other. He knows somebody's close. It's a matter if FC can find this. He's lurking in the smoke. And now Madison, they're just going to go for the execute at A.
They're going to pop in. Eddie spots out one, finishes up the job. Site is clear. Still one playing in towards Cubby. That is FC. Might catch the jump on jumps, but no. Jumps is ready for it and handles it easily. It's going to be another save here from Bruh and Pickle. But as it stands right now, Rutgers are getting overwhelmed, and UW Madison have nothing they can really do wrong. Yeah, they've made a couple of mistakes using a little lack of utility. Just not expecting people clearing all their corners, but as it stands, Madison in full control. The Badgers are running away with this one. And Rutgers are going to have a tough time when they get to that T-side, too, if Madison play how I feel they are based on how their T-side's gone. I'm expecting a lot of CT aggression coming in. They'll mop up the last two. No guns saved, although the money is good enough to get an op in FC's hands and some rifles and utility up on the CT side as we hit round number 15. Not a pretty look, though, for Rutgers on this first map. Yeah, it's still a BO3. Maps 2 and 3 are Vertigo and Mirage, respectively. But for Rutgers, it's been a bit of a rough start here on Vertigo.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, right? I mean, it's a little rough, but I mean, we'll have to see Rutgers if they're going to try something different. The paw flash comes in. Double flash is actually for alt mid, so, but they don't have anybody in window, so they're not really utilizing those flashes. Now Pickle exposing himself, Jump's able to find him. Nothing to stop him at all. And now they've obtained Madison. They seem to win these opening engagements pretty much time and time again, right? So now Rutgers have to figure out a plan to bring this back to an equal footing, and that's the tough situation. You can even see Barley, he's kind of hovering towards CT spawn, kind of debating, do I want to stay at B or do I want to wait? So any sort of nades that come on through, that's exactly where he's going to go. He's going to be hot on his heels, but Madison right now, they can just burn the clock as much as they want.
Yeah, and that's something Madison hasn't exactly done all too much. They like to put the pedal to the metal more often than not. But when the need arises, they'll take things a little more slow and methodical. They already have that opening pick. They're trying to see if Rutgers want to get a little more aggressive or if they're going to continue with the Testudo formation. That does seem to be the case now. They're still going to turtle up. I do like Bartley's position back on CT as a fast rotation to the A side to bolster defenses, and he still has the angle on a push up if Madison want to go this direction. But the other thing is, UW-Madison haven't exactly smoked CT often. They leave it open about half of the time they take the B site. So there's a good chance Barley could even find some damage here, but no way. They're going to rotate off. They're going to send Barley back towards A. He's going to have to book it back towards the B site. Full utility execute now coming through. Molotov smokes in towards Coffins and CT. New box flamed out, and Jumps has the bomb in hand. Bogdan Law in effect as the op from Zamgo is still quite proficient on the AK as well. Bomb goes down. Last-ditch retake coming in from Rutgers. There's still plenty of utility for UW-Madison. Another Molotov, a couple of flashbangs, and a smoke grenade. And there's not much. 2 flashes in the smoke for Rutgers. Now CT's been smoked again. 17 more seconds. They won't be able to go without having their vision obscured. A flashbang goes in a triple peek towards Church. And time becoming an enemy of Rutgers. A nice counter swing comes in from Wavy, who will sweep away a pair.
No.
Looking for another 2. They're just going to hold the line. UW-Madison, the Badgers, in prime spot to go up 10-5. Next kill comes through, all down to FC in an iron-winnable 1v4. And nothing doing there for FC. 10-5 it is, and another dominating victory from UW-Madison. Just look at the kills there. Players surviving for Rutgers. When it was a victory, 1, 3, 1, 1, and 2. That is not good at all on a CT side. It's hard to win a CT side when you're having to reinvest so heavily.
Oh, it is. And I mean, they're just, again, it kind of seems like there's a lot of hesitation that we saw from Rutgers, to be honest. I mean, even when they, were getting bombarded by the T's, it almost just seemed like they were unsure what to do and they weren't reacting the way that they should have. But I mean, the fact that Eddie alone has 20 kills, I mean, man, that is just filthy. And then, I mean,
Yeah.
Wavy right behind him with 15. And it's been a lot of good work that we've seen from Madison. But again, for Rutgers, it's just been really tough. We just have not seen anybody really step it up except for Barley. I mean, I think he's the only player that was able to bring like a clutch round in and some multi-frags. But other than that, it's just been a little stagnant.
Yeah, Barley's double towards brackets leading into a 1v1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is too is we saw
Well,
Madison play so
Pickle had that
aggressive.
one round towards half wall too that basically set up. I think that was back on like round number 6.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I mean the thing is too is like Madison, they just kept abusing the banana control, and they pretty much just took anything they wanted. Like they had their sights on something, and I mean Rutgers just let them have it without any sort of a fight, really.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Rutgers got a little bullied early on by the fast aggression of Madison, and they decided that the only way to counter it was to play slow and passive and hold their lines. But even then, Madison changed up their game too, played a lot more fluid, and it came down to a lot of aim duels too, where Madison were winning a lot of 1v1 engagements. They were dry swinging half of the time. And it worked out well for him. I'm expecting Madison to get a little aggressive, though, when the guns come out again on the CT side. Even here, Wavy's already going for that flash peek down banana. Double nades go through. Doesn't do any damage. But Madison already getting the information that nobody's pushed up banana as of now. Smoke towards Porch. Another smoke will go back towards Moto. Pickle leading that charge to the utility as a flash being in for Arches. Rotation's already coming back, though. The bomb's still down T ramp. And they're going to try and wrap it towards B, it seems. But it's been read already by EW Madison.
Look at this right now. Rutgers, they're already in CT spawn. They're going to try to pinch this. Oh, man, Wavy takes some big damage, and these are USPs now making their connections. The sandwich is not going to be able to do anything. It's flat. It's a pancake, and now Rutgers are down to only 2. They got the bomb still. They're in the site, but now they have to find some bodies. Bra able to find one. Zamga able to just swing. He's got a Glock for whatever reason is a CT. It doesn't matter. Give him anything. He's doing the job, and Madison now put themselves into 11th round.
I respect that call to go back to the Glock. I think that's actually a really good idea if you're trying to close the gap, because the Glock has the advantage over the USP in a short-range engagement. So it's a smart move by Zamga there, and we saw just how well he made that work out. Both pistol rounds converted on this map, the pick of EW Madison. They go up 11-5. No bomb plant means no force buy here from Rutgers, and there's a plethora of MP9s for EW Madison. Jumps will go on to the FAMAS. If you want to call that a rifle, you can, but the MP9 probably much better in most scenarios than the MP9 or the FAMAS. So we'll see 4 MP9s in the hands of EW Madison. Plenty of utility, though, more importantly. And they're just holding the line, waiting for these unarmored Glocks to walk their way in. The Deagle really only poses the major threat. The P250 if someone gets caught off guard.
Yeah, with no utility too, this is going to be so tough. And I mean, what we should be seeing for Rutgers is that they should be committing this as a squad. Like, I mean, what we saw Madison do really well, they just did the full man commits. They just kind of kicked down the door and they were just running on it, even if they weren't invited. But right now, FC does make a good connect with the Deagle. It's a bit of damage down to SHM with 64, but Wavy snapping away with an MP9, able to find himself a second. Looking for a little bit more in these Glocks. There's been no trade yet, and they're just falling apart. Bodies are dropping, and just like that, Madison has been able to just clean this thing up. And they get themselves a 12th, and we're going to have to see now Rutgers. They're going to have money on the board. They have enough for the AKs and Bogs. If they don't get this, I think we're going to be setting our sights here on the Vertigo map.
I think so. I think Vertigo is going to be coming sooner rather than later. We'll be taking the elevator up to the 51st floor. Wavy, though, got $2,400 from the MP9 kills with that quad. Also goes one behind Eddie in terms of overall frag count. So Wavy definitely having a fun time. Look at the stack towards B, though. 4 players here towards B. Flashbang goes high. Utility coming down. They're going to rush through a Molotov into the waiting arms of Barley T, who's only able to swallow up one. SHM still down. Might be able to get out of this with an AK, though. Still has the MP9 in hand. Trying to stay alive through the hail of bullets. And actually will manage to get out of there. Singed a little bit more on the retreat. But that's a 2-1 advantage for Rutgers right now. And that's a good start for them. Only one player here to hold the ace site. And that's Eddie. But again, it's Eddie here to hold in towards Pit. Eddie gets 2 kills, even one and buys some time. There's an opportunity. Flashbang goes great for him. but Pickle, what a shot there to finish it off. And FC taking the
no.
smoke, couches a crouching Zamga, leaving it all down to SHM. No reason to save here. Go for some damage.
He's got a lot of utility though, so I mean he has a full pocket of it, right? And for him, I mean he can just try to see if he can get an exit. Or maybe if he can retrieve a gun. I don't think there's anything going to be around that area, so it's not like he can pick up an AK. So yeah, he is actually going to run away as much as he can. I don't disagree with this. I mean, he's got full armor, he's got a kit, full amount of utility. So this isn't the worst idea, but look at this. Ruggers they're going for the full hunt. They smell the blood. They're looking for him. This is an injured CT. And SHM now hears the footsteps thundering, able to find one, not able to get that second, but at least a one and done. That's okay. The money's a little bit grown here for Madison. And that was a bonus, right? I mean, that was the round where they had the MP9s. They put some really big pressure down Banana. But this was some good firefights that came in from Rutgers, something we haven't seen from a little while.
Yeah, I feel like they look a lot more comfortable on this T side where they can take the aggression into their own hands, but Madison loves to do the very same thing. We saw what they did on Banana, a little overzealous, you might say, rushing through Molotovs like that, and it did not work out well for them, but Rutgers weathered the storm. They're able to win some aim duels out on A as well, and get themselves to at least 6 rounds away from EW Madison's current score. Pistols out for the CT side, though, a couple of 5.7s, a P250, and an MP9 in the hands of Wavy. But no utility for the CT side, no kits, and only 3 players have any armor still. The 5.7 can be a very dangerous gun on a map like Inferno. A lot of tight range angles where teams can roll around the corners. They're going to walk out into the waiting arms of Bruh. And he will give them the hug of death, send them down the river Styx, and take a one-man advantage for Rutgers in the early going.
Okay, sorry about Eddie. Oh man, Eddie. What can you find? Oh no. He runs into the heater, but get out of this, but we will be able to find it. That's a big wave. Now they got the bomb down. They're going to get it planted. 5.7 in the P250. Light armor for SHM, so no utility. I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to pick up a rifle. In this kind of a moment, I mean, now SHM going to go for the quick peek. I mean, the peek is together. This could be good. They might be able to get the trade. Nope, that's not going to be the case at all. It's that one's already done, and now it's just down to Zamka by himself. CT, nothing much to find here. Second round will come in favor here for Rutgers, and this is looking not too bad, and the money situation still built up here, so we're going to now see Madison have those guns. We might be able to see an op be into fruition here too. Wavy does have enough. It's going to be a little bit tighter, but we will decide to commit to the rifles with full utility, and I think actually that's a better idea.
Yeah, I think it is. Get the utility out. It's a map like Inferno, so utility is king here. They'll work with it well. Early on mid-control again taken by Rutgers. They very much like it. Barley reveals full position and still able to pick up 2. Maybe even the 3rd will capitalize on it, and they are feeding Barley T out towards B, just continuing to push down into the mailbox position, and Barley T will welcome them all and continue to eat them all up. Looking for the ace potentially, but probably just going to try and stay alive. Still, Barley T's heating up. And Rutgers now closing that gap towards 4 rounds. Wavy and Eddie have to save it. No reason for them to commit. And another round goes back the way of the T side. Madison's starting to flounder. And it's that over-aggression towards Banana again, costing them heavily.
Now the CTs. Madison, this is a little bit surprising. I thought they were honestly going to be able to have some pretty big swings, going onto the CT side. The way that they say we saw them play on their T side, but Rutgers are looking pretty good now. They're starting to convert quite a few rounds in a row. And that's actually every player from Rutgers is going to survive, so nobody gets taken down. This is a good little replay we see here. Barley. Nice little 2-piece, makes it almost 3. There you go, there it is. Some bodies dropping, and that's a big play, especially like we said. He was the one player in the first half that stepped up, and now he's really starting to kick it up.
Yeah, and somebody who's gone quiet is Eddie. No kills on the CT side. That's a big problem for UW Madison. Yes, Wavy is picking up some of that slack, but it seems like a lot of the UW Madison players have gone silent here on the defensive end. They're going to leave Eddie over to solo B and 4 stacking onto the A side. Rutgers putting a lot of pressure early up. 3 players up brackets, including the bomb. But a B split couldn't be the call here because there's 4 players now congregating over towards Arches and 1 waiting down bottom T ramp. The B split still on the cards. The B wrap. And I think Eddie's aware of this fact. He's going to smoke off towards top banana and maybe even start to keep an eye on things. But Rutgers aren't going to make their play just yet. They're going to hold the line and actually might get popped on. FC, though, holds the line, dodges the flashbang. And that's going to reveal at least a couple of players out towards A. 2 more on site. The rifle of Wavy has to be the damage dealer. And it has not picked up anything. Finally strikes for 1, make it 2. But I don't think Eddie's going to be able to do anything this 1v3, especially with Barley T still over towards B and working in from behind.
Yeah, some good work that we saw from both Waves and Pykel. I mean, that's really important. I mean, they were able to get some pretty big kills. I mean, like we saw from Madison, I like the idea that they tried to play the double CTs like through that smoke. I mean, the timing was just a little bit off. I think if they would have been a second later, they might have been gifted a kill, but doesn't go their way, but they're starting to get a little bit more creative, so that's something good to note. It's a 1-on-3 situation, and Eddie was doing some big damage, but man, Boggs, this is a tall task for him to do, so he's just going to have to wait things out. Rutgers now going to be able to pull another round in. The Molly's going to come through into Big Pit. Now he's going to retreat, but there's going to be a T-down banana. Does he know this? Does he expect it? He will not. It's going to be Barley. It's a big bag, and now they got a 9th round.
They've closed the gap to 3. And Madison are feeling anything but comfortable right now. M4s again across the board for the CT side. No op. Becoming a bit of a problem. FC, though, will have one in his own hand, so perhaps Madison could grab that and pick it up and take it into the next round. But as it stands, Rutgers have full control, full momentum. Almost expecting a tactical timeout coming through from UW Madison at some point soon, but they're going to go aggressive towards Apps this time. One will burn alive, and FC's eliminated jumps as well. Wavy still trying to hold the line through bedroom, but he cannot put another one to sleep. Flashbangs coming up through brackets are going to take the charge of the A side now. Only one player here to defend that is Wavy. They know exactly where he is. They know he's out towards apartments, and he's stuck in long haul. Has a player to deal with. That's Bruh coming through, and Bruh will finish off the last remaining CT on A. Rotations were coming through off Pykel with a nice little spearing shot on SHM. Leaving it all down to Zamga. Try and get some exits. Rutgers turning it on the T side. And there's nothing Madison has been able to do to stop this onslaught. Looking almost like a repeat of the last half, except Rutgers look a lot more they do a lot more of due diligence when they play these rounds. They don't take as many dry fights as Madison did. They make sure they're using their utility to wall off corners, and they're not relying too much on their individual prowess.
Yeah, we're just seeing Rutgers playing a lot more fluid than what we saw in the first half. It was looking pretty dire for them, right? We were thinking they didn't have any coordination. It just, I don't know, it just seemed like the comms were maybe a little bit off, but now, man, we're getting that second half of things have really started to kick it up into a whole other gear. Look at that shot from Michael. That's huge. That's filthy. That's through a smoke too, right? And
yep.
Now FC's got the op in hand, so that's, you know, something we don't always see on a T-side Inferno. I mean, definitely not unusual. Okay, a little bit of knife damage. Bruh, you're going to get backstabbed a little bit. That's, you know, giving a little advantage here to Madison, but they only have the one M4, and then they got pistols across the board. They have one smoke that's available, but a lot of armor on the board here, Boggs. So this is interesting. At the 3-2 stack, Madison putting a lot more commitment of the players at B, and this is looking like the right read. We'll have to see at Madison if they're going to go for the pop. They're just going to try to turtle and maybe play that stack.
Yeah, Barley's almost reminding me of Janji, the way he plays towards Banana. A little more passive version of Janji. Still leading that charge, but look at this flashbang over. Pykel only with one. SHM and Eddie combined for 2. That's going to be the first man advantage for EW Madison in a long time on the CT side. Perhaps something they can do to convert this one into a win. It's been a long time since the guns have come out there. We've seen something good from UW Madison. Deagle headshot from jumps as well. It's all down to FC and Bruh tagged down to 39 HP. FC has the AK, opting for the rifle over the op. Spots out one, doesn't clear. Cold Zero box though. And Wavy will finish off one down to the low HP Bruh in a 1v2. Eddie is low as well, 31 HP to 39 of Bruh. Zamga and Eddie working their way up the same line. Bruh just holding back on the side, peeking around, sprayed by Zamga. Will be the first round in quite some time on the CT side for UW Madison. And they won't get the op out of this one either. So a little silver lining there for Rutgers. You have so much money to play with though. And Laz, while it might have been a round on the board for UW Madison, it's not exactly what you can expect to replicate.
No, man, and that was a good reply that we see from Madison finally, right? It seems like it's been a little quiet on that CT side, and it comes down to them just peeking with deagles and winning those fights. So now they got a little bit of momentum getting shift here. They still have the 3-round of a wiggle room, but it is going to be op on both sides for FC and also Wavy. So we'll have to see what happens with this op and op duel. Back to the 3-2 setup that we see from Madison. So we saw before it was a 3-player stack towards B, but now they're going to switch things up. Gambling a little bit, some great nade damage, and already Barley's down to 39, so the double HE works out really well. It makes that connection, and already doing some inflicting damage, and now we're going to see Rutgers. They're going to have to figure out what they want to do, and they're getting that banana control. Double mollies to clear up corner and sandbags, so now they have this for the taking.
And they do. Will they be able to take advantage of it? That's the question. They're still defaulting out relatively well, playing this one slower. Not so sure where that smoke was supposed to go, but definitely not the area it was supposed to land at. Flashbang going in. Barley taking control of Banana here, working his way up. 3 players still towards A, though. Pretty classic 3-2 setup here from UW Madison. They've still got plenty of utility to work with, too. They haven't been burning through that at all. 3 Molotovs left to go. They don't have any more smokes aside from that one on Eddie. But the flashbangs, the Molotovs still in hand for UW Madison make this a very strong round still for the Badgers. Plenty of utility, though, for Rutgers as well. And still get a couple players up through halls, starting to work their way towards the A site. Molotov goes to the boiler, and the peek from Eddie out on top of Flower Pots will pick up Barley T. And now FC is going to go back and forth, swapping from the op and the AK. Still down to players. Not going to be an easy take for UW Madison. Time down below 20. Flashbang going high, jumps up on top of the railing. He's in a good spot. Spots up the opera, has a spray transfer for a second. Pica will walk out, and he won't get caught out just yet. Grabs a second before Zamga trades. Brock now brings it back to another 1v2, but time. It's gone. 3, 2, 1. 14-10.
Woo-wee, some good disciplines from Madison. They burn the clock. And that's the thing, man. When we see the, T's, they try to do these delay executes. That's the problem. If somebody on the other side pops off, gets those multi-kills, man, that thing starts to crumble like a cookie. And we just saw it there. Varsity, they tried to push that right down underneath 20 seconds, like you said, and they lost a couple players early on. I think it was the first 3 players were dead pretty much immediately. So it makes it problematic for them to get that bomb advanced. But Madison, they've allowed that time to be burned well for their favor, and now they're going back to the 3-player stack towards B, and now just having the 2 the A site. And Rutgers now putting some control back into apartments and jumps. He's trying to get a little bit more aggressive, trying to get some information, but he's taken down. And now the T's, they've got that bracket control pretty much up for grabs if they want it. And Zamka, though, able to get another little flick, so now right back to an even footing.
Still 4v4 favors the T side, and Rutgers can take advantage of the map control. There's only 1 player holding the B side, but that is the op of Zamga. It was on Wavy's hands last round, but Zamga's going to hold on to it this time. Still, it's an 8 take coming in from Rutgers. 4 players versus the 3 holding of UW Madison. Utility a little lighter this round than it was last time. Only 1 Molotov, that's in the hands of Wavy. And Arches control potentially the target again from the T side. Chimney Flash coming through as well. But they're really taking this one slow, are the T's, and it's going to give Madison an opportunity to counter this. Eddie walks out, dry swings in towards lane, somehow still alive, doesn't take anybody out. Now we'll catch off Waves pushing out a balcony, and there's still more to come. There's going to be the arch wrap, but it's going to be the last man standing, it seems, as Bra's almost dead. FC and Bra will actually trade a couple and bring it down to another 1v1. Bra again in a 1vx, this time up against Zamga on the op. But it's 7 HP. It really is a one-shot to win the round sort of deal for both these 2 guys. And Zamga peeks. Doesn't connect it. Needs to walk out. Does not know Bra is this low. The USP is the pistol in hand for the CT player. And for Bra, it's just going to be a matter of buying time and trying desperately to get the headshot to end the round. Holding back behind the boxes. Has the angle and the spray. Bra finally clutches this one up after 3 tries. And it's going to be another round on the board, a critical round for Rutgers.
Oh, man, and that's tough, too, because we don't even know if the communication came on through for Madison, or, for Rutgers to be, to know that the teammate is low. So, I mean, for Madison player, I mean, it was a tough situation for him to go for that, USP duel because, I mean, he's kind of thinking, yeah, he's probably still got a lot of HP, and going USP against an AK is not what you want. But you know what? Rutgers are going to survive that round. It's pretty messy, but you know what? It'll do for now. We got the pistol save coming in, just some light deagles and a CZ going to be purchased here from the CT side. No full stack, no full push. Gonna wait things out, and now they're gonna retreat this B site, except for the one player, so they're gonna have a bit more of a 4-player stack at A. And at this kind of a moment, Bugs, they kind of have to risk it. They have to try something different. They can't just play these standard setups. Michael, okay, that's fine. He's gonna be able to find it, so okay. Jump's not able to react to it fast enough. And right now you can see Rutgers, they're still trying to figure out what they want to do, and it looks like now they're just gonna go for the full execute into B.
That's the right read, too. They already made the noise towards A. They've expected to draw rotations, but there's already 4 players here. But that information from Zamg on the swing could just entirely spoil the bunch for Rutgers. Lots to smoke out CT, toss the nades in, the rotations flooding back from UW-Madison. The Badgers scampering back to try and salvage this site control. Boost goes up for Eddie. Can he find the damage? Deagle spams out. Doesn't get anything, though, just paltry damage as poor Waves and Barley will combine for the spray. Bomb goes down in towards first Oranges. And the retake's going to be on here for UW-Madison. They've got one on the Deagle, but only one so far. 3v2 still favoring Rutgers on the hold. No kits for the CT side. The smoke will fade eventually, making this a little more likely for UW-Madison. Through the shadow, Barley sees him. It's going to be a 12th on the board for Rutgers. They draw within 2. And UW-Madison starting to flounder here as things get tougher and tougher. This is almost, you might say, their last chance before 14-all. Seems to be almost a certainty at that point. They've tossed the op back into the hands of Wavy.
Boggs, I mean, we can't forget, this is the pick for Madison. They were in such a good position now. I mean, we're talking about a 2-round difference to a tie game. So for Rutgers, I mean, they're feeling good. They're getting that momentum built. They still have the nade lineup. Don't really do too much damage against FC, but this is a very telling round. This is very important for both teams. The op, like you said, in the hands of both FC and Wavy. Wavy just going to hold onto Archway. The default setup that we see from Rutgers, nothing crazy. Still testing the waters now. Not getting that full banana control that we typically see from them. Instead, they're actually putting a lot of their presence towards mid. I think what they're trying to do is bait as much utility as possible. And it's not bad because, I mean, utility, it's lackluster right now for Madison.
It is. It's not strong at all. They only have a couple of Molotovs left, and there's still a minute to play. Eddie doesn't have any utility whatsoever. But the same could be said for Rutgers. They've burned through quite a bit of their belts as well. Smoke goes out towards Arches. Flash goes in for Peichel. And they're just taking control here with no real end destination as of right now telegraphed, although B now seeming to be the more likely of the 2 spots. So 3 A players starting to rotate back down. Going to stomp their way forward. SHM and Zamga have a lot to do. Zamga's boosted up on top of New-Box. Molotov will buy a little more time, though, from SHM. Well timed there on that Molotov. And as the take has to commence here, the smokes are going out. Time is now the name of the game. Zamga up on top, not going to be singed. Has a spray, only gets 1 out of that. And now in towards second Oranges. It all rests on the shoulders of SHM. Swings for 1, and that should do it. There's no time.
Oh man, SHM won that round for them. He was able to wait it out. The trigger discipline. He doesn't just go for the firefight right away. Instead, he's patient and he knows the time is ticking and it's getting low. For him to get that kill onto the planter, there was not enough time for Rutgers to respond. You could see the new planter was struggling to find the plant spot, and it's always kind of a little bit of a sketchy situation, especially when you're down with what, like 7 seconds, 6 seconds? Yeah. Oh man. Madison now put themselves at map point, just barely, but SHM is able to pull up the big hero pants, and the kneecaps are going to be taken away, and Wavy's able to get this opening duel, and now Madison, I think this clutch has now come up big for them.
That clutch has come up immensely huge. SHM, the hero of the last round, trying to bring that momentum into another round victory, and thereby the map for UW-Madison. It is their pick in Vertigo, the pick of Rutgers, waits in the wings. Another player up on top of Flower Pots, though. That looks to be Jumps. Or actually, no, it's Eddie up top. Jumps is playing back towards Balcony. Eddie jumping forward, has to fall off. has done some damage, though, waiting for the push to come through. Jumps has the back of his teammate. 2 headshots delivered. And 2 more kills into the favor of UW-Madison. The Badgers now 2 kills away from sealing Inferno into their favor. There's only 2 players left for Rutgers to try and bring this one to overtime. Time, not quite their enemy yet, much unlike the last round. But it's not exactly what you would call a smooth situation for Rutgers. And as they walk in towards B, Zamga and SHM are ready to welcome them and punch their ticket onto map 2.
It's do or die moment now, Barley. That smoke is going to block it off, but Bra does still have the smoke for the CT cross, and now the CTs are here. Oh no, it's just down to Bra. Can you make this a good Bra moment? Only able to get one, and that will be done. We're going to... A nice victory that we see from Madison. A little bit sloppy. I mean, that second half, honestly, definitely went a different way than I was expecting. I thought Madison were going to be able to use that momentum for first half, but I don't know. We saw some really good effort from Rutgers. Just wasn't enough. But boy, oh boy, did Madison, start to get a big sweat on their own map pick.
Yeah, they did. They were really feeling the heat there, especially towards the end. Rutgers coming within a hair's breadth of really being able to pull that off. I think they bought too much time. What was it? 12-14.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, all they needed was 1 kill, and it went wrong. So for Rutgers, they lost that one by a hair's breadth. That was very, very close, and it honestly could have gone the other direction. Considering it was a 10-5 half in favor of Madison on the T side of Inferno to kick it off, Rutgers did an incredibly good job of bringing that one back and almost putting it into their favor as a victory.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. When we were talking about the first half, it just looked like they were not really the same squad, right? I mean, they were a little bit disorganized. It just seemed like all their CT holds, they just weren't able to get really anything moving. But then as soon as they switched over to T side, I mean, they played a different game. I mean, they were in a huge deficit, and they brought it back and made it extremely competitive. Because, I mean, Madison, you could tell they won pistol both times, and then they lost, the conversion in the second half. So, I mean, that's what kind of really affected them. And, I mean, it was close. It definitely came down to those nitty-gritty rounds on those 2v2s or, like, 1vx situations. So, hats off to Madison. But, man, that was a little bit more close than I would have wanted to for my own map pick.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was way too close for comfort for Madison. And for Rutgers, what a comeback still mentally to be able to get back into that after losing the pistol round too. It's not like they lost the half 10-5 and then won pistol. They lost the pistol round. They were down 12-5 and battled it back to a 14-12. So that's a super, super resilient team right there in Rutgers. And going into map number 2, you have to be very scared if you're Madison. I mean, you haven't really played the map at all, at least in this competition. And Vertigo is not a map that deals kindly to people that don't practice it.
Yeah, that's really true. Vertigo is, it's such a tough map because, you just can't get away with, kind of freelancing it. You really do need to have your set smokes. You need to have some good strategy. You can't just kind of wing it. Where some maps like Mirage, maybe the Dust 2s, you can do a little bit more of a feel and kind of react to the moment. But a map like Vertigo, man, if you don't know like some of the basics, like you are going to get punished for it. So I'm going to be curious to see how well Rutgers is prepared for this in comparison to Madison. Because I think, I thought Madison had more of a firepower, but you know what? I don't think that's the case here. I mean, I think it was just a really slow start that we saw from Rutgers. And now that they had a bit of a comeback, in that first map, this might be enough for them to push this thing to a map 3 series.
Yeah, map 3 is Mirage too. It is that classic coin flip pug star map. So anything can happen on it as a decider. But when it does come down to it, I thought Rutgers had the better utility usage than Madison on Inferno. And
I agree.
If that's indicative of what Vertigo is going to be like, Rutgers is going to have a heavy advantage coming into that map. The pop flashes you can throw, the smokes across the map on Vertigo that are available. Rutgers can definitely style on UW-Madison when it comes to this map. And I do think that a Mirage is probably pretty likely given what we saw on Inferno.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's going to be the case. I mean, I guess, we're just going to have to take a few moments to wait. We're just going to let these players cool down a little bit as we get ready for map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
and I'm scared to death. Scared of your eyes looking into my eyes. Scared that I'll back out and hold my breath. Wake up one morning and see your face. I can feel it coming back. These shivers are every day. Whoa, I say it's over. I get out of bed and leave. Yeah, just like that. I got the shivers whenever I would think about you. Now that I left, I live without you. I'm on my own again. I got the shivers whenever you went out of line, yeah. Now it's like everything is fine, yeah. 'Cause now I'm alone again.
Welcome back, folks. Apology for the delay. We had a bit of a GoTV issue, but we are back now. I'm Boggs, joined by Laz, and Rutgers has taken the pistol round here on their pick of Vertigo, and they're trying to win this second round against the force by Madison. It's a spray down coming through, but trades are going back and forth. Bruh will equalize things, and FCJ will help out. Bruh and FCJ will hold the line, and Rutgers hold on to the post plant. 2-0 up on UW-Madison on the T side of Vertigo. Again, the map pick of Rutgers. Map 1 was Inferno, taken by UW-Madison in a scrappy 16-12 finish. But here we go to map number 2. Pistols out for UW-Madison.
It's already looking pretty good now. And like we said, this is the map pick for Rutgers, so this is going to be really good for them. They need this map so that they can push this thing to a map number 3. And Madison hasn't been able to pan anything. Oh my god, jumps! Good night, Pikel. That's it. You're done for the round. You're not coming back. And now, Rutgers are going to try to keep on persevering. They want to try to get this control. They're not going to let them slow it down at all. And now the damage is being exchanged. Bartley takes some damage on his own, but he's going to be able to get that kill. So now we're back to an even footing for the time being, with HP's low on 2 players on both sides of the teams. And now Boggs, this is where we're going to see the nade executes come in. This is where Rutgers are going to show why they like this map.
Yes, indeed. Although it's still a 4v4 and Barley's a little bit low, those numbers are going to quickly turn into the favor of Rutgers with a pair of kills, Blaze and Brock. Bartley's going to try and finish off Eddie as well, who will not be denied, but finished off by a nice little smoke spray by FC. Moving it all down to Zamga, creeping through and sprayed down by Bruh. A pair for him in the round, and a third in a row for Rutgers. Strong start, but to be expected after they won the anti-force in round number 2. Rifles are going to be in the hands of UW-Madison, full M4s. Butter is subbing in here on the UW-Madison side. So, let's see if you can butter up this map and get this one the favor of UW-Madison for 2-0 victory.
Good control that we see. So now Butter, like you said, is the new player that's been thrown into the hat. Now this is the first gun round and a very important round for Madison. Try to bring this back and try to get there at least a round on the board. Some more smokes that are going to be thrown down into ramp. So, I mean, again, this is going to slow things down for Rutgers, but mid-control they have. Eddie's playing right behind the sandbag. If he gets this timing right, he might be able to find it. They molly it, but look, it's not even making the connect. It's not going to get any inflicting damage. Oh, man, he gets the damage, but he's not able to get the kill. So now that HG's coming in, it's going to be thrown. It's a touchdown, but it will be taken down. The interception here from Barley. So now we're back to that 4-4 situation. The bomb needs to still get picked up. Boggs, it's all the way in the back.
Barley will retreat and recover that one. And still, Rutgers rather spread out to make their way either A or B. Looks to be a B stairs pressure, though, still. Butter goes forward, though, caught off by Brock, just waiting for someone to throw their life away down in through the B stairs. Zamga's going to retreat a little further back on site. Retake setup already hit here, but Zamga goes out a little too far. Caught off by Bruh, who's really heating up here on the T side of Vertigo. Bomb will go down. This is going to be another round on the board for Rutgers, as Bruh will end the round with a 3-piece, and Wavy will spray down 1. Still looking to go for this, though. A risky proposition, but with that headshot, it makes it a little more likely. Pikel, however, will make sure nothing more comes from the round of UW-Madison, and a 4th straight on the board for Rutgers. They don't want to give anything up to UW-Madison. They want Mirage to come through here, and their utility usage was superior on Inferno. Here on Vertigo, you can expect it to be far in advance of UW-Madison, but the thing is, too, Rutgers are comfortable on the map. They're playing good angles, they're taking good fights. Their reading of the map is quite advanced, and this is definitely one I think Rutgers have full control over, at least in their early going. They might not have ramp, but even if there's 3 players here for UW-Madison, wouldn't be too surprising to see them take over that control quickly. And as I say that, poor Waves with the opener on it jumps. FC will actually get traded out. Zamga gets that kill. That not too shabby considering the investment of the round for UW-Madison. Butter will chime in as well, but it's still not a round you can really expect the CTs to pull off.
Yeah, they definitely inflicted this damage. So 4 Waves is down to 8. A little bit down Pyko, so nothing really to worry about, but both CTs are very low. They're wounded. They got an AK and a deagle. The nades are getting thrown in, and Eddie both taken into the graves. So Butter, the new recent addition onto Madison. Substitution. Will hit the bench and hit the ground, and now Rutgers are still going to continue this on a 5-0. And Boggs, I mean, this is kind of the thing that we saw before, right? This is the map pick for Rutgers, and we saw on map number 1 the pick of Madison. This is where on the CT side they struggled. They weren't able to close things out, and we're kind of seeing that right now, but they're going to change up their game plan. They're going to have the double sticks out here, so this might be, I don't know, could this be the playmaker? Could this be the difference maker? I mean, I guess time will tell, but this is a lot of investment. If they lose this round, man, they're going to be hurting.
Yeah, it's a hefty investment. You almost have to go for this kind of a risk. Wavy spots, I believe, a couple of pixels of FC over the smoke, and then capitalizes on that shot in the end. Good pickup for UW Madison. Let's see if they can hold the line with that double op setup. Not revealed yet either. Only Wavy has revealed his op in play. And it was tossed back and forth between Zamga and Wavy back on Inferno, but here comes Zamga's op out towards middle. And that's going to now show that there's 2 ops in play here from the CT side. And Rutgers are going to have to adapt accordingly. Like the little boost coming in too, but there's a couple players out towards Beefs from Rutgers right now. And that Molotov was aimed for those players backstairs. However, Eddie sends it back the other direction. And Butter will scrape by, just away. Time on the clock, still favoring the T side, plenty of time to move. Manpower becomes that big problem right now for Rutgers. UW Madison are looking to hold that line and shut it down.
They don't even have the bomb yet either, so now Butter's going to go for a swing. Michael does get 1. So now we can see it is just down to Poor Waves on the 1-on-4 situation. So the clutch to keep that 6-0 dream alive. Doesn't have the bomb. 30 seconds left on that clock. So time is really ticking. And even Jumps now has been able to push through mid. Get some very important information for the team. And Poor Waves right now knows that, you know, doesn't have the bomb, so instead just going to try to go to his death. Try to maybe take down a body or 2, maybe. Doesn't have a lot of utility. Does have a molly, though. Madison does still have the 3 players in the site. Jumps will be able to find that. So Madison finally gets himself on the board with the round, Boggs.
Yeah, they do, and it comes off of the back of that double op setup as well. It started with that pick by Wavy. Zamga adding another one, not falling for that initial little jiggle peek coming through. Madison with a strong round, but it does come off of the back of that double op setup. It's a hefty investment. However, they've done a lot of damage to the Rutgers economy, and Rutgers are not going to be able to full invest into this round. They're going to go for a force by a couple of AKs, a Tech 9, a Deagle, and a Mac 10. It's not exactly what you want to be buying after you've won 5 rounds in a row and lose 1 in return. On the T side especially, Wavy gets that opener, Jumps gets traded back. Eddie's nade can do some damage too, but it's only a paltry amount. Little spray will do more than the nade itself. A secondary nade comes through as well, but it's just chipping away the health of Rutgers, trying to file their way on towards the A side up the ramp. Butter hanging around back towards side all. Zamga, the lone defender, out towards middle and B. They're expecting this full A play, and Eddie's just been spotted, countered as well. An opportunity now arises for Rutgers, and now they've secured it. They've got a 1-man advantage with 2 ops to deal with. This is exactly where Rutgers want to be. The nade does damage, but it's not enough.
Oh, it doesn't get the kill. Now both oppers are alive. Another smoke to go through, but Wavy, different plan in store, able to get him. So now back to a 2-2. Poor Waves just going to be on the other side on the wall here, and they're both, I don't know if they cleared it bra on the sandbags. Flashes are coming in, not going to make much of an effect. Poor Waves able to get the 1 bra, able to find the 2nd. We are seeing a continuation. The double ops are down. Poor Waves will pick up 1 of them. Now Rutgers are starting to get that big momentum that we talked about. And this is a good replay. This is a little bit of a, a glimpse that, that position that Eddie played, it can be such a good spot, but at the same time, if somebody kind of jiggles and gets that, info before you can, if you're Eddie, I mean, you're dead to rights, and that's kind of what we saw, right?
It is indeed. Eddie had no idea he was about to get sprayed, and it was a great play coming through there from Rutgers. And overall, it wasn't even that good of a buy from Rutgers either. A Mac 10, a Tech 9, a Deagle, and 2 AKs. They were able to turn that from a disadvantage into a win. And that's what you want to see from any team coming through, is to be able to make great situations out of bad ones. Look at this, though. It's the M4A4 of Zamga that finds a pair. He's down to 1 HP, though. So essentially a dead man walking. Eddie nades out, could get caught. Zamga's here as well. That nade will do a lot more damage than the ones prior in the last round. But still, opportunity in the hands of Rutgers if they're able to get a pick or two. It's much like the last round, Laz, where this one can turn on its head at a moment's notice.
Yes, so a lot of opportunity. Rutgers can really turn things around. And the scaffold, so they got some control for the time being. The op still into play from both squads. Wavy actually towards B with that op, so not going to matter at this moment. The smokes are going to come in, so it allows that coverage for them to get into this site. Now this is going to be the quick nades that we talked about. No rotate yet from the CTs. Another smoke that's going to come on through, so that's going to be blocking off towards elevator. And there's still a player on boost. FC hasn't cleared it yet. He's still anticipating somebody to come from the sidewalk. Bomb's going to get planted now, so the CT's waited out. They're very patient. FC still committing to this, and now Spammerino. They're not able to find it. FC, he somehow stayed alive this long, and he gets a kill before he dies. And now we're right back to a 2-2, and bruh, he's going to be spraying, bro, you got to do more. And now it's just down to the 1v1. Poor Waves by himself on the back of ramp. Wavy with no utility has to go for this fight.
No
Cannot let go. He has no kit. Now he's been able to pick it up. Do we see Poor Waves? Does he go for the peak? Does he go for the peak? He will! He's going to be able to find it at the last second.
Retake simulator Vertigo strikes again, and Rutgers are holding off the retakes of UW Madison. When the bomb goes down, don't believe Madison has won a round. It's been so strong for Rutgers here. Once they get that bomb down, they can just hold down that line. They give up nothing to UW Madison. They cede nothing. They hold it. They might lose a couple players to pistols here, though. Barley T will trade out Pikel, but still, Rutgers have been able to get that bomb down and deal some significant damage from bad situations. And now even the AK's been tossed back, and Barley T's going to hold on for it. A-side the next target, though. Eddie taken down to 27 HP. Zamgo walks into the waiting crosshair of Barley T, who will push forward. Wavy will trade one back, though it's a 3v3, but again, that bomb goes down. It almost seems like Rutgers are going to win that round.
It's almost like the kryptonite for these guys. So now the double deagle's still here, and Eddie a low again, 27 HP. The bomb's still in play. The T's have it on their back. I don't know if Barley actually saw Eddie there. Now Eddie's given his presence known. He still commits to the double peek. He sacrifices himself. Wavy should be able to get this kill. Oh man, just barely, but hey, it's gonna work. He picks up an AK. He's got armor too. He's got the molly, so that should delay the plant a little bit. But the bomb,
Back B.
the bomb's going all the way back to B. They don't even need to go for this. So now, look at these T's. They're split apart from each other.
Oh, Bruss got the backstab. Unless Wavy expects this is over. Wavy's not ready. Brock comes in from behind, gets the side swipe. And Rutgers now at an 8-1 lead. And UW Madison, while they might be getting kills, they might be giving themselves opportunities, their opportunities don't exactly seem to be high percentage scoring chances. And Rutgers are giving up nothing. They're holding their line, they're playing this well. And as long as they can get that bomb into position, they're usually able to win that round relatively cleanly. And when it came to that last round, it's just a great read to take it the other way and have the flank coming through by Bruh. Double ops are back, though, from UW Madison. The Badgers will try and get back on the scoreboard. Still only a breadstick up there. Yes, they did break open the goose egg, but it's not a good situation for anybody to be down 8-1. Nade could do some damage. 1 point of damage. Again, it just looks like Rutgers know this map inside and out, and UW Madison, not exactly the most well-versed team when it comes to Vertigo.
Some really basic utility we're seeing from Rutgers, so waiting things out in FC. Oh, gives it up. Thought he was going to try to commit a little bit more, try to find that opening duel. This is a pretty quiet round that we've seen from both teams. I mean, typically we see, you know, at least somebody already down by this time, but now both these teams are getting ready for a setup, and actually it is still a 3-player setup. Now the counter smoke's going to come in from jumps. It's going to block off the front entryway. Wavy going to get pushed back with Molly. Not he can get out of that, see if he can still commit to the boost. Not able to find it, so now the nades are coming in and Jumps spamming away. He's got the silencer. He runs out of bullets though, so he's able to find his demise. And now Eddie, he's able to get 2, make 3, and now it's just Bruh. He's gonna need to come up big, but the only thing big is Madison coming up with a second.
That's a massive second round for UW Madison. It's a necessary second round. They save both of their ops as well, but they do lose a quite considerable number of players. Only keeping 2 alive. They're going to have to reinvest heavily, and it comes down to some good aim duels won by the CT side. Because of their economic damage they've dealt over to Rutgers for the past several rounds, it's going to be pistols out for the T side, so a chance for a third now for UW Madison. This is their opportunity to try and bring this back to an 8-7, 9-6. 8-7 definitely going to be very hard for UW Madison to come up with, but a 9-6, if they're able to manage it, would be massive for them going into the second half of this map, the T side of Vertigo. Push coming through though, Bra leading that charge, spams away with the Deagle, does a little bit of damage. Butter, though, he's sliding around and getting himself a 3-piece. Zamga comes in with a pair on the op. And UW Madison hold against the pistols. They win the anti-eco just fine and flawlessly. And guns might not even come out from Rutgers again here. They don't have a lot of money at all. Half buy, most likely the case.
Yeah, it's looking pretty tight. I mean, they could go for the half buy. It kind of makes sense for them to. Okay, they finally do it. I was wondering why the delay was, but they will commit to the half purchase. In Madison, they're starting to get a little bit of their groove. I talked about this, right? I mean, map number 1, their CT side, it really wasn't much to brag about. It was kind of a sore sight. So now we're starting to see some good composure. That last round, yeah, it's a light round, you know, that they were going against. But again, they didn't overreact. They played the right angles. They were able to play off of each other. Now we're starting to see a lot more composure from this team. And even Wavy going to be able to find a kill through the spam arena of the smoke. And now a nade comes in, and Pike will take some good damage. He's already down to 65. Rutgers are trying to figure out what to do, and this working for a pick is kind of going the opposite way.
Yeah, it is. And, well, they're peeking in and taking more and more damage. They're just getting chipped away little by little. Eventually, they will run out of health. Jumps with the op. Will finish off one more. Butter will slice Barley T in half, and it's all down to poor Waves and Bruh. Bruh has the most health of the 2 players, and poor Waves has no armor. They're both going to group in towards middle. Work their way on through. Brock gets 1-1 to Eddie, and Butter's not very healthy, but Butter will be able to weather the storm and pick up a pair. 3 total on the round, but still another good round from UW Madison against the Pistols, minimizing overall casualties. Problem remains, though. Rutgers very strong when it comes to that early lead. 8-1 it once was. And even with that best case scenario of 8-7, UW Madison are going to have a hard time on that T side unless they have some good cheeky utility ready for this Rutgers squad who picked this map as map number 2. It's a map they cannot afford to lose, and through the fire, FC's going to charge. Nade won't connect, however. That'll buy a little more time here for both sides as they'll regroup and actually like to push back towards mid. And Butter doesn't even fall to the guy he's spraying at. Barley gets him through the box, but in comes Zamka. The op will level it out to a 4v4.
Double op still here, available for Madison. Zamka really switching up the play style. And now Rutgers are going to slow things down. Kind of recompose, get their comms a little bit more clear, get a better setup. The bomb's still retrievable, so that's fine. Jumps actually does have the good position. One Scaffold can escape once the shot comes in. Hit or miss, going to be able to connect it. Pike goes down. And these double ops, you know, I was criticizing this if this was going to be a, you know, a difference maker, and I'm really starting to think that Madison, they're getting their confidence back. And now we see Rutgers, they're actually going to commit to this. They have a bit of a split in Barley, being one-man army through middle. Zamka, Eddie doesn't even know, but he's able to turn at the last second. How does he know? How does he get that? And then they look at that, and then gets himself a second too.
He was playing anti-flash there, waiting for the pin pull as his signal. Hears it out, and he flicks around, gets the headshot. Nice little play there from Eddie. I like that a lot, actually, considering if he's watching for that angle and he gets blinded, he's pretty much dead. This gives him a chance to get a kill, and he makes it a double. So really good decision there from Eddie up on jump up. That's going to reset Rutgers again back to Tech 9s and a P250 in the hands of Bruh. Armor on 2, just vests. A lot of flash bangs, but they're just going to charge their way on forward. 1, 2 for Wavy. And maybe a couple of more. No, Bruh and poor Waves will actually make the CT side a little poorer. In comes Barley T, and now it's a man advantage for Rutgers. They've flipped it over. They've turned the tables. And Zamga and Butter have a lot of work to do. Zamga starts it off well. Molotov's onto the bomb. Gonna burn these players down a little more. Butter goes aggressive, but now it's a 1v1 up beyond. No scope. Scope from Bra. Jumping, falling in, converting the shot. Rutgers with a massive round and an unlikely one. And what an individual effort there from Bra. Here comes a second, though, that's even better. Jumps up, scopes in, and dodges the pistol. Bruh, that is a play.
Oh, what am I watching? A death match? Like, what was that? I mean, that was just chaos everywhere. Everybody was doing some pretty big difference maker plays and getting all the impact in the world, and then Bra's like, nah, I got this. I'm gonna do something a little bit filthy. Something you should never get away with, but...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it'll do. And that was a round that should not have gone that way for Rutgers. I mean, they were on the Tech 9 save. I mean, they didn't really have a lot of investment into that. It's just a full rush, full W strat, and it pans up them for a 9th.
Yeah, I mean, that worked out for Rutgers. It wasn't a round you could expect them to win. 2 pieces of armor and pistols, and they're able to pull it back. That's a big round mentally for Rutgers as well. Let's see if they can grow off of. They lost the opening pick in this round, but we've still seen them battle back from much more difficult deficits. It was a 10-5 half on the T side of Inferno for UW-Madison. Rutgers looking to return the favor here on Vertigo. UW-Madison, though, if they're able to make it a 9-6, it's definitely, I think, still a win condition for them. Slow and steady, though. Rutgers working around. Bomb should not be leading the charge, and FC will be peeking with it in hand. Goes back to the op now. Utility are going to come forward, and Butter will right-click that smoke down in front. Goes up close and personal. FC's making all the noise, clearing up towards the side. The push is coming through. The rotations are flooding back in. Butter's a critical player here to watch. And he's going to still hold his line. Finished off by Barley T, however, who continues to drown his opponents one by one. Make it a double as Pyko drops another. Wavy's got another on the off and bakes in a pair, bringing it to a 2v2. Spots out one, retreating back towards stairs, but FC still holding on side with an op. Zamgo goes forward to his own demise. Wavy 1v2. Time still on his factor and in his favor, but he's got one. 1v1. Poor Waves falling back a little bit more. Down to 63 HP. Smoke onto the bomb. Has a kit, as does no light. Poor Waves holds the line, sprays it down. And Wavy with that opportunity, unable to come up with it in the end.
Ooh, a little bit of a glimpse of some good action that we saw this very first half. And I mean, Madison, you could see on the scoreline, look at this. This was Rutgers at, 7-1, 8-2 lead. But I mean, the fact that we saw Madison bring things back when they were in such a massive deficit, it's a little bit of a bright moment here for them, because I was, really worried for them. Their CT side is just looking a little bit dire, but now it's a 10-5. Double digits going to be here for Rutgers, and now Madison, they were very aggressive on their first map, on the pistol strats. They always have, just the 4-player commit, and that's exactly what they're going to go for. They're on the A ramp. Look at this now. They've been able to push into sidewalk. USBs are starting to go shooting around. It's a bit of a shooting gallery. They're not able to find anything. They're missing all the targets. The bomb's even down too. This is a 5-on-5 retake situation now.
Yeah, this is not a good situation for Rutgers to be in, but again, this is Vertigo. Retake simulator, especially towards the A site. Team's a lot more likely to go for the retake rather than trying to hold in the initial anyways. One towards up close and personal. Let's jump. Getting mowed down eventually. Somehow alive for a lot longer than he should have been. Pykel, though, will swing and take out Wavy. Rushing forward, trying to finish up more. Butter still holding. Caesar's one on the bomb. Defeats the purpose. And now it's all down to one. Brook gets dinked and finished off by Eddie. Eddie and Butter, though, hands down the heroes of the round for UW-Madison. An unnecessary pistol round, one for the T side to close that gap in the early going and not allow Rutgers to get off to an even bigger lead.
All right, well, that's one way to do it, right? So, okay, now here we are, and Madison now going to be able to pick up around much needed round, right? So, for Varsity, they're on the light pistols, a couple of HEs, and although they're not clearing their angles, but Eddie, it doesn't matter, and Wavy, he's just like, get out of the way, I'm doing everything. Take my teammates down with if I have to. Oh, some nasty spray control, Samka, and this is going to be a washed round. I can't imagine, bruh. I'm pulling a bro moment here and putting up a 1v4. The USB seem a little bit too much of a tall task, and there you go. Madison, 1 casualty, which does come with the cost of a TK. But you know what? It'll do.
It'll work out fine for UW-Madison. And it's kind of funny, if you look at the kill counts over on Rutgers, it's almost identical to what we saw from UW-Madison on Inferno for that first half. One guy at 20, another guy just behind around 15, 16. It's Bruh on top with Barley just behind. It's funny how Counter-Strike becomes such a pattern.
I know. It's so true, actually. I'm glad you brought that up, too, because I was kind of looking over. I'm like, huh. I feel like we've seen something similar to this. Oh, wait, Madison! Madison! They're running through mid!
No.
Oh, no, Barley T! Oh, man, he's been able to step up when needed.
Oh.
And now Butter. This is some smooth Butter. This is that premium, brother. This is going to be 2. Now looking to make this the quad. Lots of time to go on the clock. Doesn't need to overexert himself. He can wait things out. Still, full amount of utility. Doesn't have a smoke, but does have the double flash with the molly. So again, that molly, he can use that to take out a CT in the positioning, but bruh, he's going to be able to find it. And they get themselves an 11th.
Madison try and sprint through middle, but they're met by Barley T. And this Barley T has definitely been deadly to UW-Madison. I guess the Badgers are allergic, because they cannot get around Barley T. Hero round coming through. UW-Madison on the pistols this time. Tech 9's at a P250. Rutgers, that's a big round to win. It'll make things a lot easier for them to put this one in their win column and take us to a third, which would be Mirage. But the pistols can be very deadly. We've seen it before. We'll see if UW-Madison can get a little revenge for the pistol round of Rutgers earlier. One opening for Barras. Swings around, makes it a 3K. Not quite the 4th. Butter has made 1 slip and fall. There's still a couple more players here, making 3, and it's going to be a mop-up here for Rutgers, only losing 1 player despite the damaged FC and Barley T. Not too shabby whatsoever. Good mop-up round there for the CT side. But the guns are coming back out from UW-Madison, however. 4 rounds for Rutgers means a victory for them on this map and a 3rd map in this series. UW-Madison need 5 to even tie this one up at 12 apiece. This round will be a trendsetter. This will basically show us what we can expect moving forward in this series. The last-ditch buy from UW-Madison as well. Utility a little light. If they lose this round, it should be a 14th secured for Rutgers, given the lack of a 1 buy coming from Madison. If they lose this round, a lot of ARAM scrimming. And FC not able to get anything done on that spray, but Pyko, however, puts a spear through 1, and poor Waves will even double down. Disastrous round on the start for UW-Madison. Still 5 alive on their opposition.
And look at the utility, too. There's nothing available. I mean, you got double flash here for Wavy. And now the players are going to group up together. I believe they're going to be able to push through mid, so they're going to be able to retrieve that for the time being. CT swing this together, and actually it goes both ways here for Madison. So nobody gets taken down. Butter, now he's down to 7 HP. This is getting a little bit too tight here. Rutgers still have the player advantage. Lots of utility that they can have, but they need to be careful, Boggs, because if they start over-peaking and over-committing, this is where Madison, they do have that firepower that we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team with a lot of firepower, and Butter has definitely answered the call as well. Butter's been a very impressive player in my mind for UW-Madison on this map, and I'm kind of wondering where Butter was on Inferno, because Butter's been a very key... Butter! What are you playing on?
As you're just
800 by 600?
Hey, maybe, man. Good res. And there it is.
I believe it was Effie's who used to play on that, actually.
I think so, too. You know, and that honestly, that was a pretty good effort that we saw from Madison, and considering they were down to, what, a 2v4 or 2v5 situation, it came down to that 2v3, but again, it's just clearing the angles, and this is kind of what we talked about Madison, is they don't really have a lot of experience playing on this recently as comparison to Rutgers, so I mean, for them, T-side's going to be a little bit harder in terms of like executes and proper smoke execs and things like that, so really, this is kind of why we're seeing this full aggression. It worked out in Inferno, but they're going to see if they can do the Hail Mary. Oh, FC, he's getting pushed and bombarded, but you know what? Doesn't matter. He's able to get 2, finally gets put down, but Poorways is able to finish the job as well, so now it's just down to jumps by himself, picks up the off, goes for the peak, but Poorways will do one better, picking up a triple, and now we're at a 14-7, and Madison They need to do something big to get themselves back into this game.
FC got dinked on that initial engagement too. What could have been if that dink was an actual kill would have been a completely different round for UW Madison, but the Badgers fall short again, running through the fire, get burned. And Rutgers now 2 rounds away from taking us to Mirage, which would be that third map. FC's going aggro again with the op this time towards B stairs. Not going to be able to get the opening kill this time around. But Butter lurking through middle has the angle on one, maybe even a second. Yes, indeed, the Galil from Butter is sliding forward, maybe even a third onto the B side. In the meantime, though, Eddie's going to pick up poor waves, and FC has got Butter dead to rights. Peichel chimes in onto Wavy. They're split apart, and the timing catches FC looking the wrong way. Too many different angles to be aware of. And this should be a round on the board for UW Madison. The money's not great for Rutgers, so assume Peichel will save. But if he goes for it, FC in particular is going to be a little broke. We'll see what Peichel decides to do. Doesn't seem to be much of a window of opportunity towards this retake, though, for him. 1 flash and AK in full health, but... maybe 1 kill here? Yeah, 1 kill, 22 HP. Peichel's still going for it, though.
Yeah, he's got money, but I'm a little bit surprised. But this is jumps inside the site with the op. Needs to stay alive. Can't overpeak anymore. Now the crossfire's coming in. Doing a good job to keep these T's close on by. Doing some big damage, and Eddie will be able to find it. Oh, the explosion. Oh, man. Eddie's
Body
down
blocked.
to 1. He got body blocked, and he survived.
No. He got behind his teammate.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. His
Oh,
teammate counted as a
man.
wall.
Oh, my goodness. That's some big brain IQ, man. And I mean, Eddie survived literally with 1 HP. I was like, yeah, he's gone for sure. There's no way he's surviving this.
That's a nice clutch play coming out from UW Madison. Eddie lucky to be alive. That's great for the economy of UW Madison because they don't have much. 4 waves now limited to a FAMAS and no utility into this round because of the lack of drops for the last round because of the fight from Peichel. Lack of utility, too, from Rutgers. And overall, big risk because of that extra hunt. So for Rutgers, they've given the University of Wisconsin a little bit more of a window.
Ooh.
Maybe even given them more into this round by that 1 peak alone. It's a heavy hitter and Barley T gone. Peichel gets traded, but poor waves will come back as well. 3v3, but that still favors the T side. Look at Brust's position, though. Coming in from behind, has the bomb, and here's Wavy running knife out. And that is exactly the antithesis of what UW-Madison wanted. They've given Rutgers this chance for a 15th. Even though they had things that looked to be going so well for them in this round, it all gets swept away with 1 kill to hold the bomb down. Zamga trying to get it back. There's 2 players here. He's grabbed the bomb, and now perhaps the Badgers can dig themselves a nice little hole and try and secure this round.
Yeah, and I don't even think they know that there was 2 players in that position, too. They know that there was 1 player there for sure. So now the CTs are able to get a better rotate. Oh, that nade. Oh, that nade. Oh, it does some good damage. Doesn't get a kill, but I mean, it's going to do a nice little bit of a puncture against these guys. So now they got the position that they can play on the ramp. The CTs have now depleted all their utility. They still have 1 kid in the hands of Barra, so Eddie's able to get this 1 kill now. Zamga needs to stay alive. Needs to get his counting of his stars. And oh man, the CTs are pushing, but somehow he's been able to get around this.
What?
How is this happening? And the defuse is coming in. The defuse is coming in, and it's going to be able to come on through. And Rutgers will be able to put themselves a 15th, but just barely.
Yeah, 15th round on the board for Rutgers. It does come down to the wire, but they're going to try and send us to Mirage here rather quickly. M4s, 2 AKs for Rutgers on their CT side. More utility than they had in the last round, and stronger firepower too. UW-Madison with the Galil on Eddie. AKs on the rest of the squad. The last-ditch buyout to try and secure the 2-0 victory, or we will be heading to a third. Butter working out through middle. Gonna eat that nade if he's not careful. Does not take too much damage. Goes a little more forward. Not dead just yet, but here comes an opportunity. Barley gets 1, but Wavy as poor Waves getting a little overzealous out towards a ramp. Push comes in, but FC, as the smoke blooms, will pick off Eddie, bringing it back to a 4v3 in the favor of Rutgers. Smoke not down just yet. Peichel has 1 more. Barley, TFCJ, all getting kills here. Back and forth. But up over top, Wavy's brought it to a 1v1. Might be 7 HP, but this is still a winnable situation. Bruh has been the star player for Rutgers in this map, trying to secure the map victory and close the deal on Vertigo, their map pick. It's going to come down to timing. It's going to come down to luck. Bruh looking the wrong way. Wavy reveals the position. But it's all going to come down to one shot from either player. Flash being too deep. But Bruh has the angle. And Rutgers have the second map on the board. Great show from them on Vertigo.
Well, they do it. They made the crossing. They made the finish line. They had a dominant lead in the beginning. We saw Madison starting to really show up that big fight. And now you can just see these are all the replay actions that we saw from this second map. And I mean, again, Madison, they were able to get a little bit more composed. They were feeling a little bit better about this, but really this was the map pick that we talked about for Rutgers. So for them, they were feeling pretty confident. A little bit of hiccups, but not kind of like what we saw in Inferno. So definitely now we get to get things tested here on Mirage, Box.
Yeah, we do. We go down to Mirage as the final map, and that one I think is going to be a bloody bare knuckle brawl.
Yeah.
Both these teams have shown good firepower. It's not a map where utility is necessarily the name of the game. And it's going to come down, I think, to who has the better individual moments. Brock was a star in that last map. Multiple key moments. Barley T carrying over a good performance from Inferno as well. But really, if Bra and Barley T can play like that on Mirage, Rutgers have a very good chance of pulling off that third map.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we definitely saw that Barley was doing some good work. I mean, I got to give a little bit of shout out too to Butter. I mean, joined the roster, for the second map, and that's always a tough situation to be in. And I mean, when you come in a bit cold, and the team lost the first map, you're always kind of wondering, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel all right. But you know what? He was able to put up some pretty big rounds in some pretty dominant fashion too. So, I mean, I'll be kind of curious if we'll see the same roster or if it might get switched again for the third map. I wouldn't expect so, but hey, anything can happen. But we're going to take a really short break as we get ready for Mirage on map number 3. Don't go away. We'll be back in no time.
Welcome back, folks. It's time for the final deciding map between Rutgers University and UW-Madison. Both teams won their map picks. It was 16-12 for the Badgers on Inferno and 16-8 on Vertigo for Rutgers. It all will be decided here on Mirage. I'm Boggs, he's Laz. And we have a B stack coming in from Rutgers on the CT side, and UW-Madison going the exact opposite direction. Retake A in effect. We saw Rutgers with some great retakes on Vertigo. We'll see if the same magic can hold strong here on Mirage. Bomb going to go down pretty quickly here for the T side. It's going to be another 5v5 retake unless they push into CT, and they're running into the meat grinder. 2 kills going back for Rutgers, 1 traded by Butter, who retains his position in the lineup for UW-Madison. But a great flash from FC lets Brock pop 2, and it's all down to Wavy, locked in and caught from behind. Brock with the quad, and Rutgers with the pistol.
Okay, bruh. 4K? A 4K, bruh? Alright, but no, in all seriousness, though, look at that shot from FC. Oh my god. And then bruh just able a nice 1-2. Yes, please, give me one more. Yep, there it is. And a good round that we saw, like you said, they went for the B stack, but instead they had that retake. And honestly, I mean, the fact that Madison tried to go for, you know, a pretty classic strat with the smoke walls and then trying to push the CT, I love that play, but it was just a little bit too late. And I mean, with the rotates, we already had a couple CTs there. And I mean, the fact that FC lands a shot like that, oh man, that was a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it was. And that's just some great work coming in from Rutgers on the retake. And UW-Madison charging into the meat grinder too. They didn't need to aggress that necessarily, but they went into it and they got punished. Force up though from UW-Madison because of the bomb plant. 3 Galils, a Deagle, and a MAC-10 for Eddie. Barley needs to stand tall here though. Outdoor stairs, gets tagged down quite low. Swings around, cannot pick up the second. Butter will pick up Bra as well. Jumps, trades down FC. That's all down to poor Waves and Pykel. The 2 MP9s down around half health each. There's not really much you can expect them to do. Playing for exits from the looks of things. Poor Wave swings out. And long range of the MP9 demolishes Butter. But gets taken down a little bit lower. Finished off with the backstab by Eddie. It's a 1-1 tie here, but Rutgers definitely going to force up. Going to force until they lose 2 in a row, most likely. We'll see if they can make anything happen out of this round. Pike on the scout this time. But Deagle should have bound on the CT side.
Oh man, and that's the thing, Ray. When you lose that second round, it just flusters the money situation. So for such a convincing pistol round for the Madison to just swing it back easily. Now Pykel, I mean, does have the scout, so he's kind of that player that you expect to get a good shot. Okay, there's that glimpse. There's a little preview of it, and now Poor Waves, look at this. Look at all the ground he's got. Gets the one, not able to get a second, but he's done some good damage, and now we can see Rutgers, they have the information. They can get this commitment. They can get a bit of a sandwich coming in. And now you can even hear Bra's just going to run on through, going for the big flank, and now they're going to delay this bomb plant. Eddie does take down Pykel, Jump's able to find a second, so now it's just 2 lonely CTs. And I think the jig's going to be up. Madison, they should know it's a big flank incoming.
Yeah, they might have heard the sound cues too. At the very least, they had the Molotovs prepped and ready, although one has already got past the first window. Bra will spray away with a Deagle and pick up Eddie. 2v2 now, and it's all down to jumps. 1v1 from a 1v2. Those are the last coming from Bra. Gets the damage, but not quite the kill. Almost, though. Bra has definitely been dangerous, especially going back to Vertigo. But it will be a round secured again. That shot that was absolutely ludicrous from Pykel. And then jumps, comes up clutch in the end. Big round for UW-Madison, although it did come at quite a cost. Could it be some pistols? An MP7 for 4 Waves. That has to be a misbuy. There's no way that's intentional.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But, honestly, I was going to say, I think for Rutgers, that was actually a very big round for them too, right? They didn't put a ton of investment into this, but now they, again, have to save this again. Poor Waves, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, can he make it happen? He gets the one, not able to get that second, and now CTs, they're dropping like flies. The B site been vindicated, so now the CTs are trying to get the rotate in. They only got those pistols like we talked about. It's hopes and dreams here, but Barley still makes it come to a little bit of flourish, and he's able to find one, and now that smooth Butter that we talked about gets it down to a 1v3 situation for Barley, and he's stuck. He can't get out of this. There you have it.
Solid cleanup round for UW Madison. They only lose 2 players, and they'll keep their AKs and the M4 in hand, but it's going to be the full buy coming in from Rutgers now. UW Madison, as things have looked very in this series, very T-sided, getting that early lead. It's going to be their first real test, though. Wavy will actually get that M4 from Jumps and toss an AK over instead. Jumps has quite a bit of cash. Zamga behind him at 4,000 in the bank. It's a cat play coming through here from UW Madison. A lot of players out towards middle. Smokes down, nades coming through. Does a little bit of damage. Barley, though, spots out Wavy over top of that smoke. And that's a good opening pick for Rutgers in this round. A lot now rests on the shoulders of Butter to get something done out of Palace. This is an ace split through Khan and Palace. Try and make this round happen. Butter now been spotted. Eddie's taken down. Jumps will bring it back to a 4v3, still favoring the opposition. But it's not a very good standing point right now for UW Madison. The ball is in the court of Rutgers, but Butter, that's a great recovery. Almost walked into the backstab from Bruh. But now in this 3v3, the bomb can go down. An opportunity opens for UW Madison.
Lots of utilities, double smokes, actually triple smokes from Rutgers, so they can use it to get the coverage, but they need to take down this one player. Zamka playing on the top box. Triple. Oh, and he gets that kill too. And now Peichel by himself. He's in connector. The presence is known, and Jumps should be able to find this. He does. Madison, they're getting that composure that we saw in Inferno. And this is kind of a map where I think this is going to fit their style a little bit better. Whereas we said Vertigo was the pick here for Rutgers, and they really showed us why it was their pick. And now, Op going to be in the hands for Zamka. And pistols one more time, which will be on the CTs. And hey, Boggs, it's worked. It's done some damage, but we'll have to see if it can get them around.
Yeah, that's more important right now. The damage isn't necessarily the name of the game anymore. The lead is starting to grow for UW Madison. The Badgers are starting to get out to a very strong T-side start of barrage. They've even got the op in the hands of Zamga. Butter's going to throw that Molotov onto the balcony. Four Wave swings forward. And only does a little bit of damage, 18 points to Butter, who will jump away, making all the noise, and he's actually going to take almost more damage from falling off than he did from the CZ shots. Brock clears out through Palace, but he's going to make noise. I believe they might have heard him. Barley T, though, still strikes for one. Deagle spins around. Butter gets a trade, but here comes Bra. They don't realize he's in towards Palace. Zamka's coming on the flank, but in comes FC, who's what to keep Butter at bay. Braun knows there's the offer coming from behind. The shot doesn't connect. Zamga now all alone. Deagled by Bruh. And of all the rounds for Rutgers to win, it comes with pistols, no armor. And well, it's Bruh again with a hero play.
Yeah, you know, it is a hero play, but man, it was a roller coaster of emotions, right? I was like, hey, you got a sick shot, you might be able to get some kills, and then it was just Deagle shots getting thrown left, right, and center. You can see here, little cool little flick, the sheriff's in town, and then Whiff City, and then bam, he's just able to get that one, and they get themselves an op too. So a round that was much needed here from Rutgers. They respond back, and really good positioning from the CTs. They play a little bit more aggro, which allowed them to, catch the Madison players off guard, and now it's a full gun round. We're finally made it here.
Yep, FC versus Jumps now on the op. We'll have an Opper's duel here. The Madison squad like to throw that op around quite a bit between Jumps, Wavy, and Zamga. They don't really have a set opper on this squad. Very North America, honestly, of them. As look at most North American teams, they have at least 2 people who can op pretty heavily. Zamga, though, going to be that first victim. Wavy trades it back, but Jumps. I believe Bruss spotted him through that smoke. And gets that spray. It's all working out in the favor of Rutgers right now, but Butter again, smooth on the headshots. Gets the backstep on a Bruh, who I think was trying to escape in towards ramp. Will now bring this to a 2v2. Flash goes into CT from Butter, but he's going to play towards Tetris now and just wait this one out. Poor Wave's going to get backstabbed by Eddie, surely. There comes the spray, leaving it all down to Peichel. The tip of the spear now in a 1v2. Molotov goes into jungle to ward off Eddie's position. Smoke might even go on the bomb, but it goes out into Palace instead. Swing from Butter, though. Will roast Peichel in the end. 5-2 now for UW Madison. First real true gun run with ops on both sides. Goes the way of the T side.
Oh, man, we talked about this in the pre-show, right? I mean, this was where I said, Butter joining the roster, it's always kind of a question mark if you're going to be able to fit in. And yeah, no, I think Butter's fitting in really nicely. I think he's doing quite well for himself. Able to get a lot of big, impactful frags, which is really allowing Madison to get themselves a 5-2 scoreline. FC does have that op in hand, which, I mean, he's going to be playing towards, you know, just on connector, not really playing too aggressive. Madison, again, just going for a default setup. And the CT's back to a 3-2. They've actually allowed the mid control to be in presence here from Madison if they want it. But they do have a setup, so the Paul Flash might come in from FC, and Michael needs to be really careful. There's some players close on by, gets the shoulder, gets his gun out. You need to get your gun out. Oh, Zamka, though, with a nice little crab sparry, and now they're going to be able to pounce into this, and Poor Waves has to be the anchor. He needs to come up big, but no, he's going to go down. So now Madison, they've been able to get into this site.
FC will get the wallbang shot on the jumps, but this is going to be a save round from Rutgers. Madison taking full control of this T side. Now the first half of the decider between these two teams, both at 3-1 in the Swiss standings. This is week 5. And one of these teams will advance to 4-1. The other will fall to 3-2, just above that 0500 marker. And while a 500 batting average in baseball might be insane in terms of a win percentage, you definitely want to be above 500. Nice little exits coming through here by FC in Bruh. But it's not really going to matter too much in the end, especially if, well, I was going to say Bruh falls, but now there's just nobody left besides jumps. It's been a good mop-up job by Rutgers in the end. Look at this peek from Eddie, though, after Zamka on the initial swing. I mean, Eddie's group is Zamka peak. Living up to it right there with that swing. And we get our first timeout of this series so far, Les.
Yeah, series. It's the first time out of the series. Oh, wow, look at that. Nice little fan work.
We even got fan cams here.
We got fan cams on. They are on. But you know, that's the thing, right? It's the first time out, and now we're starting to see Rutgers, they're trying to get a little bit of that control back in the game. They want to figure out some of the kinks, the things that aren't working. I mean, they've had some good glimpses of rounds, but when we talk about the rounds they've won, they've been on those ecos, right? Like, they've been on the Deagle rounds. They've been pretty scrappy rounds for them to, you know, even have two. So for them, they have that offer FC. They got the full M4s, but the utility is a little lackluster. And we need to see something different from them. We saw them on Inferno. They weren't able to reply back very well, change up their setup when they needed to. So this is a time where we're going to have to see if they update the playbook a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see what they have in store, but the playbook might be running a little dry. Pop flash for Barley T. Not going to take that opening engagement. FC has the one way, but that was discovered by the sound of the Molotov extinguishing that smoke. Or other vice versa, I should say. But Jump knows it either way. Eddie, though, with the headshot on the Bruck, goes straight for that reload. Barley T trades it back on the Jump, but here comes Butter, ready to make a meal out of this one. Barley T, the first to be slathered. And Pikel's going to go back and trade it back onto Zamka. 3v3, but the bomb is down and ticking. Bomb planet default, though. Not the best spot to hold an angle from for a T side. Flashed into CT, though. They're going to go forward. 3 players congregating here from a Rutgers. So actually now 2 go into jungle. Wavy, though, with the headshot on the Poor Waves, makes this a nigh unwinnable situation for Rutgers. Are pushing in. Swings from Eddie! He's brought it down to a 1v1, though. FC has the op. It doesn't matter. He's 12 HP. Time, a factor. Need for Wavy. You can toss it in. He swings dry and takes out the opper. He might even go for that save. No. He's just going to stay on the AK, die to the bomb, but it doesn't matter if UW Madison have nobody alive. They've got a 7-2 lead here on Mirage.
You know, and this is what we talked about, right? Like, I was saying that Madison, I thought they had the higher firepower from this team. Map number 2, it didn't quite look like it. We kind of saw that engine warming up a little bit, but right now, this is a comfort zone for Madison. I mean, this is where they can kind of flourish a bit more because, again, they can just do basic strats. They can just hold W if they want. They can have those commitments. And now we're starting to talk about why they were the heavier favored team in terms of firepower. Oh my god, but Poor Waves and Pikel! A nice little buddy system. They shut down the aggression of Madison. I talked about the firefight, and I guess Rutgers, they wanted to bring one even too.
Yeah, they did. That's a great bit of aggression towards Apartment, something that Rutgers really haven't shown throughout this series, but it works out well. Butter, however, leading the charge, head and shoulders above everybody else on UW Madison. He's going to grab another big conversion by Wavy. Looking the wrong way, still picks it up, and now that's going to be a B-site split coming through here from the T side. Bra clearing up A, leaves all the information down to Pykel, holding the side of B. Actually, no, they're going to run it back. They're going to go back up Con. Bra tucking into Firebox. Is he going to get cleared, or is he going to get the backstab? He can play this to his heart's content however he wants. However, the plant's going to come through front triple. Makes it a little harder for Bra. He's walking forward. Wavy gets caught up behind the butter. Nice opener. And does he know the next one's walking through CT spawn?
I don't think he had the sound cue. I don't know if he heard that sound cue.
I don't think so.
I don't know if he can hear it now. He might be able to from this position. Pykel is being very loud. He's got that smoke too, so he's got the coverage available. He's gonna throw it, but good position from Butter in the connector. Oh, he might be able to spot the shoulders exposed. The shoulders exposed, and Butter, you need to land the shot.
It's over.
You need to hit some aim. You've been doing so much good work. You gotta do it now. And the CT, he's running away. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have a kit. There's no way he can get this defuse. And Madison somehow bring this round for their favor. After all the efforts of Bra. That's a Bra moment.
Oh, Butter says, don't get in my way. He converts that one, just buying enough time, knows that there's not a kit on his opposition, and he just plays it enough to ward off the defusal. Fantastic work coming out from Butter. And geez Louise, this is such a good display from Butter on this map. And yeah, he had some great moments on Vertigo, but now it's Eddie to come through blind. Jumps pushing out as well. FC coming in. They're divided now from the site as the smoke wall comes through. And now as the bomb plant's gonna come forward, it's a 4v3 hold from UW Madison. Plenty of utility still in their hands, but they're gonna go aggressive for it. One more spray down. But it's a 2v2, health favoring the Rutgers side. A little bit of utility left, a couple of flashbangs for Wavy. Zamgup and Palace is that critical member. Op out for FC. Wavy peeking around. Here's up, has Zam gonna help, gets the backstab, and there you go. Rutgers falling again. It's UW-Madison running away with this map.
Oh man, full speed ahead. The Madison train. I was thinking it's getting a little bumpy, but it's starting to look like it's just a one-way ticket to getting this thing to a 2-1 pretty quickly, but it's not over yet. The pistols will be out again. Not the greatest round the Rutgers want to have, but like I said before, they've been able to pull up some Deagle rounds, but man, asking for a third, I don't know, Boggs. It's kind of a Make-A-Wish Foundation or something, but I mean, we'll have to see. Madison, again, they're just going for a basic execute. They're just going to commit to A. They have Butter in middle, using the smokes to his advantage, makes the connection of damage against FC, so now the T's, they've been able to swarm into the site. They're isolating everything. The CTs are trying to do what they can. FC, though, he's going to give a haircut to Butter, and now they get themselves an AK.
They should run forward here. They have to go for the retake. FC with that AK is going to be the tip of the spear, but it's Sam going to get another. Wavy holds the stairs peak, and there seems to be nowhere to run or hide from Rutgers. UW-Madison seeking them out and continuing to put up the pressure. No one walks away from Rutgers, and with a 10-2 lead, UW-Madison continue to put the pressure on. Man. They're just inviting Rutgers to play now with a double op setup. But even then, no ops for the UW-Madison side will even matter, lads. I don't even think so. They just seem so content to run around this map, pushing into everything, and there's nowhere to run for Rutgers.
God, I agree with you. I don't know if the double op is going to be the answer. I mean, Madison, they're just really running and gunning this. They have a basic setup. They're doing a lot of, good things. Except for that Butter. I mean, he misses that smoke wall. We won't talk about it. We'll just blow past that. That's fine. But again, this is where they just do some basic executions. They're getting the map control early. Look, they already admit they don't even use a smoke. They're that confident that they're just going to commit to it, and they still get the kill. They swap the player on bench. FC peeks wide. He takes some damage. He's not been able to inflict anything. Eddie now. There he is. He finds one. And Eddie able to find two more, and now Pykel's going to have to do something big. He's going to have to come alive. And these T's, they've already won the half. They got the bomb down, but now, can they find a little bit more, bruh? Oh, no, not again. Not again. No, bro, you can't do this. All right, things are looking a bit better. This is chaos, but now it's turned to hat.
Yeah, bomb plant's not yet initiated. One for Wavy. Trying to seek out the last. Does not have the trail, but is going to book it back towards A. Doesn't know exactly where Bruh is, still clearing out that B side, but Bruh is going to know exactly where Wavy is soon enough once that plant comes through. The hunt's going to begin. Now watch this from Wavy. Getting that bomb down and repositioning around. Wavy turns from the hunter to the hunted. He's going to tuck into Sandwich. This is a rough position to hold in a 1v1, though. Very easily could get killed from up top. There's a lot of different angles. But will this be expected by Bruh? It will not. And Wavy shuts it down. 1x again for Wavy this time. And look at the score line. 11-2.
Oh, man. A little bit of BM too, right? The easy spray.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's just salt to the wound. And I don't know. Maybe the gas tank's just been depleted here from the CT side. I mean, they look so good. They're map number 1, like I said. They were in a huge deficit. They brought things back, but we're at round 14. They have not been able to figure out what to do. And now look at this. Madison again, just going for the cat push. This time they actually use some utility. They block it, so they get it for free. And now 4 Waves is going to be behind bench. He takes down 1, but they know exactly where he is. And Wavy, he's just going to jump in the air. I don't know what he's doing. He's playing a different game. This isn't Counter-Strike anymore. I talked about deathmatching. I mean, this is kind of what it's looking like.
I think Wavy's just saying, welcome to my world, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the waves. Okay.
Rutgers have to go for this retake, right?
They have to. I mean, there's no way that they don't. And I mean, but look at the positioning from the T. Zamka and Ladder. Okay. Barley. I mean, Barley's been a big threat. Okay. Wait a second. What is happening? Wavy now. He's dead. What just happened?
What?
A chaotic round. And this is where Rutgers, I said, the only 2 rounds they won were these dicey rounds, these rounds that went back and forth that they barely should have won. A scrappy, and there you go. It's going to be a scrappy number 3.
Here we go, Rutgers. You finally got another round on the board. It's better late than never. If they can get a 4th out of it, there is a chance. They are not powerless yet. They can still make this comeback happen. So there's full AKs on the UW-Madison side of things. FC still has his op. Rutgers, this is a critical round, though. This is the most important round so far of this series for them. They win this, they give themselves a lifeline. They lose it, it should be all over. Bruh charges in, though. Zamka with utility out, gets punished first. No one walks away from Bruh. And Butters charging forward, gets that trade. Another one who's been at the top of the scoreboard throughout this series. And he's got to be careful. Jumps get spotted out by Barley T. Who's next, he says, but he cannot find anyone just yet. 4v4, time is ticking, but look at the lack of health over on the UW-Madison side.
They're low, though. 2 of the players are under 50. Even Wavy's down to 58. FC trying to creep on through. The T's are holding tight angles. Oh, but somehow poor Waves. Nice little flick. And now 3 T's remaining. Bringing it back to a 2-2 situation. And now it's just 2 players down to the red. Wavy in a clutch situation. Can he do this? He wasn't able to before, but he will be able to. And it's going to be a 12-3 Madison. They're able to get themselves in a very convincing position now for the second half.
Convincing is a bit of an understatement. This is... this is almost where Rutgers should prepare for Hellfire at this point. This is almost game over.
Yeah,
they lose the pistol round, it's over.
That's so true. And I mean, that last round that we saw, this was a good play. Broad goes like this. He goes for the quick pick. He wins that opening duel. But then the one mistake was that he went too early for the peak. When they were in the A site, like he was by himself. There was no trade. He had nothing to work with. And then when he fell, it just collapsed. I mean, the group wasn't able to get anything moving. But now the execute's coming in. Rutgers are just going to go for the A-pop. Madison are going to allow him to have it. The one player is going to be able to fall back. That's Eddie. So now he gets himself in a better position. This is the same strategy we saw before. So this is the smoke wall. Going to push for that CT control. But look at the CTs. Look at how they're positioned. They know this. Oh, but do they know there's going to be a full party here? Oh my god. It's just going to be poor Waves, though. He's making it rain. Oh, now it's just been swept up. Madison. I can't imagine that Sam has got it in him. And we see a pistol go in favor here for Rutgers.
Yeah, I mean, this is unnecessary round for Rutgers. They could not afford to lose this pistol. And boy, do they almost seem to say, joke's over. You're all dead. It's our time in the sun. Rutgers, they need to hold this one strong. They cannot afford to lose any of these early rounds. They need to win them as clean as possible, build up this momentum, and knock UW Madison off their feet. Let's see if there's anything more in store. Smoke's coming in towards this A side, executes a stack towards middle from UW Madison, trying to go for that aggression up mid. They're going to funnel up connector, though. Great Molotov front bench. That's going to stop this push. Rush surely doesn't go through this right. Bruh's not going to go over the stairwell, but there's two from jumps. Zamka got one as what? How did they get a couple of kills off the back of the pistols? They're not getting cleared, and a third comes through. Surely not. There's nowhere for them to run. They're still getting kills.
Oh my god, how is this happening? How is this happening? And Pyko gets the molly. Okay, so he gets a little bit of recovery. He's down to 3 bullets. The CTs, they're critically low. USB spamming away, but oh my god,
No.
Madison! They pull up the eco round. That's a full eco that came in. It's a little bit of a miss smoke that comes in from Rutgers. They miss it on the jungle, or on the stairs, sorry, and it just, it allowed that double stack to come on through, and I don't know how that happens, but man, Madison, whatever they did in the pre-time from map number 2 to 3, it's doing wonders.
It is doing some serious wonders here on Mirage, and it's the raw firepower that wins a USP round. A USP round, folks. No armor, just stock pistols, and it goes the way of UW Madison. Butter's got a couple out towards middle, gets traded out by Poor Waves, but here comes Eddie to mop up the last two, and maybe even that third. That Jumps got it in the end, 14-4. And here comes the party for UW Madison. Rutgers are floundering right now. And man, it just seems to be dire straits end times for Rutgers in this series.
Oh man, we were talking about Rutgers picking up the pistol. They couldn't lose it, I guess, losing that second. Yeah, we should have been clear. You can't lose the second either. And now they're scrambling. Okay, all right, that's gonna do. Barley. Nice little 1D, gets himself an M4, and now they're looking for a little bit more. Look at how much ground they have, though, and this pop flash is coming in. Oh, FC. Oh my god! He gets it. That's a little cheeky. Something you don't typically see, right? And they got themselves in the sight, but the bomb's nowhere near.
It's nowhere near. The rotations are coming through, including a flank from Butter. This could stop the bomb. No, he gets back just in time. Poor Waves having to sprint knife out. Everyone runs faster with a knife. Everybody knows that. FC, though, loses that duel. That is critical. 3v3 situation now. And the tag wasn't even that much onto Wavy. Poor Waves goes down as well. Barley T trades it back, but here comes Butter on the flank. And, well, that's a nice one from Butter. He says, I'll handle this one. And UW Madison, 15-4. That looked like Rutgers should have been able to win the round. But the missed shot from SC started the downward spiral. And then at that point, they cowered on sight and fell to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, too, is he caught the shoulder. And, the thing is about why people are probably wondering, why did FC go for that? Because, I mean, they're trying to put themselves in an advantageous position, right? They want to make sure that they deplete the players so that they have the numbers. But unfortunately, with him just connecting the shoulder, not able to, on the side of the wall, not able to get the kill, that was costly. So then it allowed Madison to have more control of that CT spawn. And look at it now. This is it. This is like match and series point. And FC gets a little bit of redemption. Pushes right through connector. He's been able to find something. And now Eddie is just playing a full aim duel mode here. And now the CTs is just painting blue. And T's are dropping. That's the bomb too. Boggs. This is looking dire.
It's all down to Barley T. But he falls as well. 16-4 on the final map. University of Wisconsin-Madison. The Badgers put up a banger of a map 3. Dominate things up against Rutgers. And, well, there might have been a nice scoreline for Rutgers on Vertigo. Inferno went away from them, and Mirage wasn't even something they'll want to remember.
Yeah, and we talked about Mirage. We were saying that this might be a bit more forgiving. And I guess it was quite forgiving if you're Madison, because, my God, I mean, they just came in with fireworks. they were able to just have full control of this game. And like I said, I mean, Rutgers were looking pretty good on their on the second map, like we said, which was their pick. But I was a little bit worried because Madison theoretically was that stronger team when we talked about firepower. But you can't discount some of the players. Like Barley did some great things, but I mean, it's just not enough. Everybody on Madison on the team just seemed to pull the weight when they needed to at any given moment.
Yeah, it seemed that Madison had the more impactful individual fragging. Yeah, Bruh and Barley T were fantastic for Rutgers, but it just wasn't enough for them to counter the, I'm not even going to say aggression of UW-Madison, but just the fast-paced play in every situation.
Yeah.
The Badgers never hesitated. Rutgers, it would slow down a lot. But the Badgers, when they made a decision, UW-Madison went for it. They didn't think twice about it. And that's something that really works well in their play style, too. They have a lot of high firepower players, so less thinking you have to do in a situation, the better for them. They go in, they clear their angles, they use their utility when they need to. And while they learned from their mistakes on Inferno, too, I didn't see really any missed utility from them at all, either on Vertigo or on Mirage. And it was a runaway final.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that third map was just Madison all the way, right? I mean, it's just pretty much they put the stamp of approval and they had it. But, you know, the thing is map number 2, it was, you know, Madison's pick. And I mean, they had such a dominant lead. And then all of a sudden we saw this big clawback that came out of nowhere from Rutgers. And I mean, that's where I was thinking, okay, momentum is being shifted. And I mean, even though they lost the first map, I think it was like a 16-12, 16-13 game. So it was really close. And then they won their second map in a pretty decent fashion of 16-8. And I was thinking, okay, this isn't too bad. And I mean, this is a good way to get yourself, you know, transitioned into a third. And I don't know, Madison, they took full advantage of that situation where they can just run a gun. Like there were strategies where they just pushed up middle, didn't even smoke connector because they were that confident that they could just win the duels. Like that's a statement of its own.
Yeah, and then the full eco USP round victory. That should never happen.
No, that's the thing. Like, it's just little details, and that's the beauty of Counter-Strike, right? Like, those smokes, they had the right idea. They block off the stairs, you block off connector, but there was quite a bit of a gap where both those players, they could just utilize that mistake, and you get punished for it.
It almost seems like that was supposed to be a top con smoke instead of a stairs smoke, because it was in between the two, and it was really deep for a stairs smoke. Mm-hmm. It's just unlucky right there, not expecting it to. They threw the right Molotov towards front bench. I'm like, okay, that's perfect. You got the smoke wall, you got the Molotov, big gap USPs, and well, that was that.
That was that. And I mean, this is the other thing too, for anybody that kind of missed the pre-show, we were talking about both these teams because they do have that record of 3-1, and now obviously Madison going to be able to have themselves a nice 4-1, whereas Rutgers unfortunately will be sitting at about a 3-2. So still plenty of action that we still have in the season. I mean, this was week 5, so we still got quite a bit to go before we hit that playoff stage. But I mean, man, having a 4-1 going into playoffs, even in the season right now, that's a really good feeling.
Yeah, 4-1, you're still top of that table. Not quite at the upper echelon, the pinnacle, but you're still one of those top teams. Should be in the top 10, give or take. And right now for UW-Madison, they really had a hard fight because Inferno might have been an easy start. It wasn't an easy finish. Vertigo was anything but calm. And then Mirage was a complete and total blowout game in their favor. So UW-Madison, a lot to be proud about. For Rutgers, stay away from the Mirages. Go to more tactical maps. That is where your skills shine the most. You play another map like an Overpass or a Nuke like you do Vertigo, you're going to be a hard team to beat. That was a magnificent way they played Vertigo. And I want to see those guys on more of those tactical-based maps.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I definitely agree. I think that's where we kind of saw a clear difference, right? Like Rutgers were that team that was more, tactics, and they had more strategy involved in all their play on all the maps. Whereas we saw Madison, and again, like I'm not saying they didn't have strategies, but a lot of it really did focus on, okay, you go in, kill, do what you need to do, and it was just easy peasy, right? So, I mean, that's the difference. So if they can play maps that kind of, work not as puggy maps like the Mirages and the Dust 2s or whatever, I think that we can see a difference for them later on in the season. So it's plenty of time for them to continue on, plenty of time for them to correct all the mistakes and get themselves ready for playoffs. But that's going to be it for us here today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in here today. Make sure to check out the social medias. Of course, we're here with at Laz_TV and blogs CS. And thank you, of course, to our production as well. Make sure to check out the FACEIT Collegiate Twitter as well, so all the schedules up there as well, and making sure that you know which teams are going to be playing on our juicy Saturdays. But that's going to be it, folks. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again